Lebanese Ether, Freestyle Drive, episode 8. Got my brother Hasan Salaam. What's going on, brother?
Good,
peace,
man.
brother. How you doing, man? Driving around Jersey.
Yeah. Today's a good day.
Yeah, man.
To be driving around. You know, I'm already thinking of what I gotta do.
Got you in town and shit. I know
what I'm saying?
that.
I got so much going on while I'm here. But it's good to be home, and actually this is like one of my favorite times of year, like August, September.
The weather-wise
in Jersey,
okay.
I like it hot. I like it like swelteringly hot. Like when I got up here, there was a heat wave going on, so I was happy. I was like, oh, I brought a little bit of Florida with me.
Shit, you happy with the heat wave though? You happy with the heat wave? Damn, I know you like it hot, but shit.
Yo, real talk, man. Like anytime I'm like when I went back to Africa and I was in Guinea-Bissau, it was hot as fuck, but I was loving it. I was like, yes,
ain't no ACs and all that.
I mean, that spot's with
I know,
AC,
I'm sure.
You know, like when you walking in the street, nah.
Yeah, or like not every crib got AC necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, you know, here we got used to that. Everybody got the ACs in several rooms, and you know, it's different that American lifestyle where
the central air
excess
and
all that. Yeah, so I want to get into Guinea-Bissau in a little bit. So you in Jersey now? You from Jersey?
Yeah, I grew up in Jersey.
Okay.
I grew up between 3 places in Jersey. I grew up between Teaneck, Jersey City, and Camden. And I've also lived in North Bergen, Bayonne, a little bit in the Bronx for a little while.
Okay,
but
all right.
you know, but primarily I'm a Jersey dude.
Got you. Yeah, man, I hear that in your music a lot. You know, you talk about your Jersey,
Yeah.
you're from Jersey and everything.
I love Jersey.
No doubt.
I mean, people talk a lot of shit about Jersey, but I love Jersey. I feel like Jersey has everything. You know, we got everything from cities to farms and beaches to mountains. Like there's so much diversity here, and you know, just as diverse as New York is. When I was growing up, Jersey City was actually the most diverse city in the country. They said that you had more likelihood in Jersey City to have friends of different races, ethnicities, and religions than anywhere else in the country.
That's
so
dope,
yeah, that was something that I think really shaped me growing up as well. And then since also the 3 places I grew up like are also very different just in general, it gave me like such a diverse view on the world, because like Teaneck is more suburbs, but at the same time it's very ethnically, there's something there that happened called racial steering, in where black people and Spanish people were allowed to live. So like the neighbor
to buy property there,
exactly,
you mean?
or even rent property. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, so there's like an area there that's just going back very far, that's just predominantly black and Latino.
How
and that's,
far?
And that's
like
in
56,
Englewood, Teaneck, Hackensack.
Like that long or more?
Yeah, I mean, it might go back a little bit even further than that, because it was kind of like that was where they felt we should be, in one neighborhood in each of those 3 places. And then my family, we all originally from Camden. And growing up, Camden was, I think, like 92% black and Latino.
Okay.
So, you know, it's like just the differences between all the places I grew up, I hope had a positive effect on my growth and whatnot.
So, I mean, why do you think Jersey doesn't get a bad rep? It's just New York cats hating just for no reason?
No, I don't even think think it's New York. I mean, New York, y'all too busy. New Yorkers, there's like that famous New Yorker picture where it's like New York is huge, and then Jersey's like a little strip of dirt, and then the rest of America's just some green shit, and it's the Pacific Ocean and a dot that's Los Angeles. Like, that's how New Yorkers look at the world, really. I mean, how could you not, though? I mean, it's like pretty much everyone across the world say it's the greatest city in the world. Like, so Jersey cats, I think we grow up with that chip on our shoulder, like we got something to prove, you know, like in everything, you know, whether it's music, it's sports, hustling, like whatever it is, Jersey cats were like, there's a New York, it has a big shadow or whatever, you know, so it's like we got to work out of that. And then if you from South Jersey, Philly cats a big shadow.
Gotcha.
So it's like people don't, if it wasn't for the murder rate, people wouldn't know shit about Camden, unfortunately. You know, Camden has a very important history in the history of the United States. You know, so
besides that,
I mean, just besides, that's the only thing that people think about Camden. But you know, like, I think, especially when you think of like politically and just economically, what's happened to the United States as a country, Camden is a perfect microcosm of it. Like my great grandmother, she was the first black woman to work on the assembly line for RCA. Most of the people that work in Camden, they worked at
in Camden. You said she was the first in Camden.
The first black woman, period, to work on the assembly line for RCA. RCA's factory was in Camden.
Okay.
As was Campbell Soup. Campbell Soup still has their offices in Camden as well. But so like, once those factory jobs left, Camden started to go into a serious decline. And you see the same with Flint, Michigan, Detroit, Chicago, Baltimore, you know, in a lot of the port towns in Virginia and North Carolina, you see what's happened, or factory towns in upstate New York. Like, you've seen this decline of not only viable jobs for people to help take care of their families, that's also led to larger economic disempowerment, and you know, it's you see these ripple effects, and we saw it in our family. Like my family, was that RCA job, or
how long did you work for RCA?
That's a good question. I mean, I think she was there for over 10 years, because she was also a domestic, and she used all the money from all of that to open her own restaurant. She had a soul food kitchen in Philly.
Okay.
So,
I mean, so her being the first black woman to work for RCA, that kind of opened up the door.
I don't know if she was the first black woman to work for RCA, period. She was the first black woman to work at that factory on the assembly line.
Okay, understood, on the assembly line.
Yeah.
But that opened the doors for others, basically, being the first person to kind of get your foot in the door, you know.
Inshallah, like, yo, it's crazy, like in the, and also like, cause I'm a music history psychopath, you know what I'm saying? Like John Coltrane used to work at the Campbell Soup in Camden.
Oh, shit.
And I don't know why I thought, I was like, yo, that's some cool ass shit.
Cause I'm like, Camden too, though.
Yeah, in Camden. You know, I don't know. I just think that, you know, like certain parts of New Jersey, like Newark has a incredible history, but people only think of negativity when they think of Newark. You know, like a lot of Patterson has a very long and unique history, but people only think of violence when they think of Patterson. Like, I think that it's just that in regards to New Jersey. They either think that or they think Jersey Shore. And they talk to me about that shit. I'm like, I ain't never seen a black person on that show. Not that I watched it more than 15 minutes. But I mean, no one's ever told me about any black people on that show. So I'm like, you know, I remember being a kid in places in Belmar wouldn't fucking let us in. So fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, if you was black, chances are you was in Wildwood anyway. And I don't never know about them going to Wildwood on that show neither.
So, I mean, Jersey does have that history, like you said. But the issue people don't discuss is that they focus on the violence, but they don't talk about what led to the deterioration of the economy, basically, that led to people gotta do what you gotta do. You know, when it leads to poverty and losing your homes and not having an income, it leads to violence and doing shit that you wouldn't necessarily do if you was in a better situation. So people don't discuss that factory thing. I'm happy you brought up Flint, Michigan, because this affects Americans of all types of backgrounds, all different backgrounds who have suffered economically.
Absolutely. From
these factories shutting down or moving or whatever it may be. Did that politicize you? Is that kind of partially what politicized you? Your family history, or I know you talk about politics in the music a lot, so.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just how I was raised. I mean, my mother is an activist. She's a health activist. She helped develop the Patterson Healthy Heart Program.
Wow.
She helped develop with Babies Hospital in Washington Heights, the asthma project.
Okay.
So she's always been concerned with health of people of color and people in the community. So that, you know, politicized me. She was in the Peace Corps. She marched with Dr. King. My great grandmother actually marched with her. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
she was influenced by her mom and kind of passed it down to you?
My grandmother was a local person. My grandmother definitely was like, I ain't trying to march. Because to her it was like, there's a problem right here in my neighborhood, I'm gonna deal with that. Like my mother definitely is, my mother's a mix with my grandmother and my great grandmother. That's who raised her. My great grandmother was always like, you know, if she wasn't, I think she transcended some of the boxes that she had, people try to place her in, being a woman and also being a woman of color in the time that she lived. you know, because I think she was born in like 1898. So like to do some of the things that she did, like to own her own business, to be the first black woman to work on the assembly line at RCA, like, and to also come from, like, she didn't have any education. Her first job, that was the only job that she had for most of her life, was cleaning up white folk homes and cooking for them. Like she used to do that in Camden, Philly, and then she would travel to Wildwood in the summer times to work in rich folk homes that had like summer homes and stuff. You know, and that was my mother's first job. That was my grandmother's first job. So I think that politicized them in a certain way. And like my grandmother, she definitely was like, our children have problems reading, I'm gonna be a teacher. And my grandmother, she was a teacher in Philly for over 30 years.
Oh, amazing.
And she was extremely active in her church in Camden. Like that was how she was political.
Okay.
So, but my mother was like, I want to see more than Camden, so that's what led her to the Peace Corps.
So she went around the world, or around?
She was in South America. She was in Colombia and Venezuela, and also, I mean, she went to Howard and was even more political there, because Stokely Carmichael was in her, I think was either in her graduating class or in and around, like, you know, so she helped with Howard University to bring Malcolm X to her school.
That's amazing.
She helped to bring to work, like she was an usher for when Martin Luther King Jr. was there. Like she showed me Malcolm X's autograph. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So like, she's very political and also very into music, like very into jazz. So she has a lot of friends that are like jazz musicians too. So I grew up around not just political, but political musicians.
Got you. Okay.
You know, so I think that's kind of like what made me feel like it's not something I thought about. It was just comfortable doing. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of just natural. You just.
And my mother has this thing that she told me very young, like if you're not doing whatever you do, no matter what it is, if you're not doing it for your people and your community, then you ain't doing shit.
Okay.
So like no matter what it is, even some of the more wild, random type shit that I do, it still has a basis in helping other people, and it still deals with politics and shit that goes on in our communities.
So you had the jazz influences growing up, you're saying.
Yeah.
When did you start? Were you like how did you get into hip hop basically? Were you straight up writing rhymes or poetry and emceeing, or were you following the other elements in the beginning, or were you doing other music at the time, just in general? Like, how was your beginnings in music?
When I was really young, I wrote songs and like short stories and I guess poems is what I would call them. I don't think they had any kind of structure or anything like that. I always wanted to play the saxophone. John Coltrane is my favorite artist of any genre or any form of art ever. So I wanted to play the saxophone, but I wanted to play alto like Charlie Parker. So I studied clarinet, I studied the saxophone.
In school?
In school. Okay. I even played the viola a little bit. And then, but I always liked hip hop, but my mother didn't want me to listen to music with lots of cursing. Like that was her thing. So I used to like sneak listen to rap, you know what I'm saying? So it'd be like I go to my people's house and listen to it, or if I'm out in the street and somebody playing it, I just stand by the old heads playing on their boxes or whatever, you know? But primarily, my neighbor went by Walt Fresh, but my neighbor Walter, he was an older dude in the neighborhood, and he used to rhyme, he used to beatbox, and he used to DJ, and he would have cats over like on his stoop freestyling. So I always wanted to hang out with older people anyway. So I would go over there and just try to freestyle. And actually they was cool. They was like, well, rhyme about, I don't know, what you learned in school today or some shit. And so that started making me like being interested in freestyling. And then I guess in early 90s when In God We Trust came out from Brand Nubian, I was like, let me try to let my mother hear some hip hop again. Okay. And it's not that she hated it, like, you know, she would hear shit that was on the radio, like some Sugar Hill Gang shit or whatever, and that's cool. But that wasn't what I wanted to listen to, you feel me? So I play a brand newbie, and I played the Allahu Akbar, and I played the joint that they had with Farrakhan speaking the Mystery of the 5%. And she was like, all right, cool, you can listen to that.
Yeah.
But I was smart. I didn't play like punks jump up to get beat down and love me or leave me alone. I was very precise in what I played her, you know what I mean? But, you know, from there, I think also you had, in our neighborhood, a young man by the name of Philip Pennell was killed by the police. You don't make it right at this light.
Okay.
He was killed by the police, and I think it made her even understand and listen to like NWA. You feel me? She understood you gonna make this left. She understood what it was then. You know, and then it made her get more interested in playing stuff for me, like the Last Poets, or Gil Scott-Heron, or introducing me to the writings of Amiri Baraka.
Nice.
You know, so
who's from Jersey as well.
He's from North, absolutely. Yeah. I actually got to meet Amiri Baraka. That's the day. You know what I'm saying? I got him to sign one of my books and everything.
Amazing. Now his son is the mayor.
I actually performed at an event with the Last Poets to raise money for his campaign.
Nice.
So I was very honored to do that on both levels of being able to perform with the Last Poets and to be able to help the brother, because I actually, at the end of the show, this is crazy, Ras Baraka pick up the microphone and start freestyling.
Oh shit.
And killing that shit. And I'm like, yo, that's so crazy that you can have a mayor with bars that, you know, and it means something. It's not like he just saying anything. Like, he's saying some real shit. Because actually the first time that I had met him, he used to host the open mic in North. And that's the first time I met him. So it was so crazy.
How do you say like, Newark? Because you say Newark a little different. Yeah, I say Newark a little different.
I say no.
No, you know.
Newark.
Newark, yeah, my bad, but that's how
Newark.
But I just you know, I want to make sure I'm hearing the right thing.
Yeah, but, nah, it's funny when I'm like when I'm trying to get back to North Airport, and people are like, Newark. You mean Newark? I'm like, what the fuck? You know where the fuck I'm going? Jersey. Send me back to Jersey. Well, you know, some people we have a little heavier accent, I guess, than others, you know. But nah, like
I know we switched the topic a little bit.
Nah,
but
you good.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the main thing I think that influenced my music. Because also my mother's favorite artist when I was growing up was Marvin Gaye. So she'd play the Marvin Gaye anthology like front to back. And it's like, you know, early Marvin Gaye, he was definitely, you know, a lot of more pop type tunes. But when you get to later stuff, you know, like all his stuff, even the love songs had like a feel to it that, you know, it was just deeper. Like everything about it was deeper, you know. And, you know, songs like the Eulogy talking about, you know, the environment and what's going on and all this stuff, like that's what I heard. And then also it's like Miles Davis, John Coltrane, so it's like political anyway. Gotcha. So I just felt like that's what music is. Like, we're supposed to speak to. And then also growing up in the church, you know, you hear about the spirituals and things like that. So it's like our music just means more.
Okay. You were born with the name Hasan Salaam, is that correct?
No.
Okay.
I took my shahada when I was 12. My first name, I never changed my first name, but I wasn't raised by my father, so I didn't really feel any connection to that name. And then my mother's name is a slave name, so I just had, when I was younger, I was like, you know, and I still feel that to this day, that when I have a family, I want my kids to have a free name. You know, like, for a long time, I was just like, one day my name is gonna be like Free or Freeman or Freedom or something like that.
Yeah.
But
as a first name or as a last name?
As a last name. So you know, for my kids to be free, you know. But then when I started studying Islam, to me, there's nothing better to strive for in life than peace. And there's been a lot of times in my life when I didn't feel at peace or peaceful, or the world itself isn't a peaceful place. So it's like, how we gonna build a family? how am I gonna be a better man? So I chose the name Salaam, and Hasan kind of came because the story of Prophet Muhammad's grandson, of him being both a warrior, but also a spiritual man. Because I feel that peace isn't, there's like this quote from Spinoza, I'm paraphrasing,
okay,
but it's like basically, peace doesn't constitute the absence of war. Like, you have to be at peace with yourself even when you're making tough decisions that might include violence. You have to find a peace. And I've always been very into samurai and that culture as well. So I was like, you know, to be a warrior, but a warrior for peace, is what a better calling than that. So it's like, my mother named me Michael. I'll never change that name. You know, she named me Michael after the Archangel Michael. Right. So, you know, to me, like, that's.
So you always still, even with that name, it was still kind of biblical, or you know. So
the church is very important to my family. You know, my mom was singing in the choir and all that.
That's what I want to ask. Since it is important in your family, and you did grow up in the church or going to the church, how was the response to you converting to Islam or changing your name, or did you have to deal with issues with that?
It's funny, my mother, not at all. Like, my mother actually, when I first, the way I first started getting into Islam, right, I was at the movies, and I saw a trailer for the Spike Lee movie Malcolm X. Yeah, you're making it right, my bad. I saw a trailer for the Spike Lee movie Malcolm X, and I was like, oh my God, I want to see that. My mother was like, you can't see it unless you read the book. So
that was the ultimatum she gave you.
That was an ultimatum. She was like, you can see the movie, but you have to read the book first. Because like I told you, I mean, she met the brother, have his autograph, heard him speak live and all that. So she was like, you got to read the book first. So I read the autobiography of Malcolm X. I guess I was like 12 or 13 at the time. So I read it and I was like, I need to know more. You know, so she took me to Harlem, to 125th, to Mosque number 7. And I got Supreme Wisdom by Elijah Muhammad. 3 tapes. I got a tape, Who is the Original Man? Malcolm X's Ballad of the Bullet, and a speech by Farrakhan that I can't remember. It was one of his Savior's Day speeches. Okay. But it was like a date on it. It wasn't like a title. So I don't remember. And I remember that, and then also at the same time on the way back, I picked up a Kid Capri tape, like of instrumentals. So like, to me, like at that time, that's when I was really into hip hop. So that's what I was learning, and that's what I was writing. And then a couple older brothers that I knew had they were in the 5% Nation, so they started schooling me and my boy Scholar just to 120 and Knowledge of Self and all of this, and I was just getting all this information at the same time. And then I had a project in school where you had to make like a diorama, a model of something in the world. Okay. And I chose to do the Kaaba and the mosque in Mecca. Wow. Okay. We're gonna make this left right here. And you know, this is I'm gonna date myself. This is before the internet. Or at least we didn't have the shit. if there was internet, we ain't have it. So, you know, my mother, again, she gave me the suggestion. She was like, you should write the Saudi Arabian consulate in New York and see if they'll send you some pictures of it. So I wrote them, and I said, you know, I'm interested in Islam, and I'm doing this project in school. Can y'all send me some pictures of Mecca? So not only did they send me pictures of Mecca, they sent me a Quran, Yusuf Ali translation of the Quran. They sent me like 2 or 3 books of hadith. They sent me postcards from mosques all around the world. So it had like the mosque in Istanbul, and then it would have a mosque in Morocco and a mosque in, like, just all over the world. And like, it was amazing to me, like, because also at the same time I was getting confirmed in my mother's church, and basically the preacher told me, like, if you stop asking questions in here, I'll just confirm you. Because basically my mother said to me, she was like, if you get confirmed, I don't care what you do after that. Like, that's up to you. I feel that I've done my job as a believer to at least bring you to this point. But whatever you choose after that, I'll support you.
Nice.
So right after this light, we gonna pull up by these cars right here because we're gonna drop the stuff off right here.
Yeah. We're gonna stop at a light. So let's talk about this real fast, since I don't want to cut off that conversation.
Yeah, no,
we're dropping off some supplies. I know you do a charity.
Not just me alone. We with the fifth column, we used to do a food and clothing drive every third Sunday in the month. We did it for 7 years straight. Shout out to Sport, Dove, Haiku, everybody that helped create that, and we would set up right on. We're gonna drive through where we did the food and clothing drive in a little bit.
The original, okay. We used to do it at the
we in Jersey City. We used to set up on the corner of Grant and Jackson every third Sunday of the month for 7 years straight.
Pull up right here.
Yeah, right here is fine. And then what would happen is, sometimes we'd have too much stuff to store for the next month, or we'd have certain things that are specific, like. This shelter here has families. So if we have kids stuff, or there's another shelter that's a women's shelter not too far from here. So anytime they always would say, like, anytime you get work clothes or suits for sisters to go on job interviews or whatever, please just bring it straight through. So sometimes it would come to the point where we just go, like, people would make huge donations, so we'd go straight to them. We haven't been doing it in some years just because, and shout out to Lyle too and the BFS at NJCU. We would be out here, Sister Lioness. It'd just be a group of us that would just be out here, like, working hard. And some of the shelters now, people will still hit me up, like, if I'm around, they'll be like, yo, you home? I got some stuff I was just holding, because they'll be like, I don't want to give it to the Salvation Army or somewhere that's gonna sell it.
Exactly.
We wanted to go straight to people, so
they know you. Plus, you have a reputation for years, so they trust where it's going and everything. And
there's certain families or people that'll hit me up directly that'll say, like, yo, if you know of any donations of X, Y, and Z, if you could connect me with people and stuff. So, anytime I'm home, this is just one of the things it's got to be done.
I got you. We got a TV here.
Yeah, we got
Someone's gonna get a TV.
Someone's gonna get a TV. I think we got some kicks. We got a whole bunch of shit.
That's dope. That's
dope. Thank you to everybody that's donated throughout all of the years, and don't stop. And really, it all started just because we had a conversation with some Panthers, Miss Cleo, Brother Bullwhip, and Mr. Panama, and we were just like, what can we do? And they were like, well, it was actually, I think it was me, Haiku, and Amir. Like, what can we do just to help? And they were like, well, think of the things that your people need. And Jersey City, as we drive through it, there's things here that I ain't been here since November. That's completely fucking different. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
due to gentrification.
Okay. At one point, even before September 11th, Jersey City was the second fastest growing city in the country after Las Vegas. Las Vegas ain't got nothing but desert and space and opportunity to build out. So here, what they got to do to make it build that fast is knock other people's shit down and build on top of it. And so after September 11th, it hyper accelerated that gentrification. So now, because the banks that were in the World Trade Center moved over to Jersey City, you got those people with that money moving over here too. So, one of the main problems that we were facing is people were now homeless. People were getting pushed out of their homes, or they were trying to push people out of their homes by pricing them out. So people couldn't afford basic necessities that they need for daily survival and shit. So, we were like, we don't got the money to buy nobody a house, but we can organize getting people food, getting people clothing, because the basic necessities, food, clothing, shelter. We might not be able to. We can help people, point them in the direction of shelter, but we ain't got no money to buy up these $1 million shits. You know what I mean? So that's how the food and clothing drive started. So we gonna go up to where we started it at after this. So I'm gonna take some shit aside.
Let's do it.
you call it, now my brain ain't working.
So we just got back from the church. We dropped off the stuff for the charity that you do. You know, that you guys been doing for years.
It's fun. Like what we do. It's never. We don't accept money. We never accept money. If people want to donate money, we tell them just go buy like hangers to help us hang stuff up on, or diapers always needed, formula for kids, stuff like that. We gonna keep going straight.
Okay.
So you know, it's something that a lot of people supported. You know, the homie CF helped support it a lot. You know, Bad Sport, Lyle, Lioness. It was like a lot of us that you know, nobody made nothing off it. Nobody was looking to make nothing off it. Hannah, thank you very much to Hannah who helped out a lot. You know, different people donated throughout the years that was like really helpful, and people would put out the word to other people to donate as well.
So it became known that, you know, this is a spot to donate stuff for people who need help. Yeah. Like you said, okay, we can't buy an apartment or a house necessarily, but you could buy a suit that might get somebody a job.
Yeah, absolutely.
That might, you know, help them become economically independent, you know? So this is still going on, even though you're out of state, people can still hit you up and still
absolutely.
donate.
And if you can't, we always say, like, if you're somewhere else in a different state, you know what your city needs, and this is actually something that people need everywhere. You know, so it doesn't take you having to have $1 million to make a foundation or anything other than you just being willing to donate the most valuable thing in the world, which is your time.
Okay.
If you're willing to donate your time to help people out, then you could really make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like.
So we're headed to where you originally started this fundraiser?
Yeah, we're gonna head up to my old neighborhood.
Okay.
Do little talking and touring, and then where we did the food and clothing drive. Right now we're in downtown Jersey City, which is like the fastest gentrifying. The gentrification demon is strong out here.
You know, before we dropped off the stuff at the charity, we were kind of talking about you taking your shahada and you were in the church and the confirmation, I believe.
Yeah, no. So like for me, with all that, the way in which this group of people, the Saudi government,
the embassy, the consulate or whatever.
The consulate, the way that they never met me before, but are willing to answer any question I have, send me all this information. Also at the same time, like I said, there's older guards from the neighborhood that'll teach me about that. There's brothers from the nation that'll answer any question that I have from them. And then at my school, I had one brother from Afghanistan, another brother, he was actually from Saudi, a couple brothers from Pakistan that were Shiite, and then I had a couple other folk that was Sunni, and everybody was just like, oh, you're interested in Islam? Here's all the information you need.
Okay.
But then in my church, where they've known me since a child, are telling me to shut up. And I'm asking questions like, why is Jesus white on the wall? You know, them basic questions that really doesn't take much of, I mean, everything is based on a lie, but you could tell me the truth about it. You could say, you know, this is colonialism at work, young man. You know, welcome to gentrification of your mind. Whatever. But you're telling me to shut up, basically. And then these strangers are willing to speak to me and speak to this in these questions I had. So that just made me like, you know, I want to be Muslim.
Okay.
And it's funny though, the one thing that then I realized, like, oh, okay, well, sometimes it is a little bit like Christianity. You know, you had the Shiites like, be Shiite, take your shahada with us. The other folks like, Sunni, be Sunni, say, you know. And then I was just like, I don't want to make a differentiation. And I think also being black in America, you know, a lot of people don't understand. They have a lot of ill feelings towards the Nation of Islam or the Nation of Gods and Herbs. But, you know, people have this, Christianity wasn't the only religion that was out there selling us into slavery. You know, and also nobody was coming to get us either. And also there are a lot of lies that are told within Islamic tradition as well. Bilal was not the first black person who was a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to talk about Islam and if you believe in Islam as Islam starting with Adam as the first prophet, that was undoubtedly a black man.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's an excellent point. Yeah.
You know, so you go through Adam, you go to Noah, you go to Abraham, you go to Jesus, David. All these people were black men. So, you know,
but the narrative is
that
Bilal, like everybody else is more light skinned, and Bilal was like the first African descendant.
And he just so happened to be a slave.
Who you know, a slave who Prophet Muhammad freed or something and told him to do the adhan the first time or something.
Absolutely, and I mean, the story, also
the beautiful thing about that story, it's used to combat Arab racism, you know, but it's not necessarily historically correct.
But I also think that there's like the Arab racism also uses that as Arabs are on top, and if you really look at what an Arab is a mix of invading Romans and Greeks mixing with African people. So Arabic roots are also in blackness.
You can say
when we were in Palestine, so many people were saying the Suez Canal doesn't cut us off from Africa. We're in Northeast Africa right now. You know, so I think that is also something that's very important to, you know, like in that song I got with Low Key, that was like the main point I wanted to make is like no matter where you at, there's always something to the east of you. There's so no Middle East. There's no middle. Like right now we're east of somewhere.
Exactly.
You know, so I think that's like this actually you can bust this right so we can avoid the traffic or whatever. But you know, there's this thing that's pushed on everybody all over the world to just hate blackness, you know, and everything comes from Africa. Everything, like that's where everything originated. So
even if you don't believe in religion, you believe in evolution.
Yeah.
If you believe in evolution, as I do, then you would say we came from Africa originally. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we can get into this whole religious debate and stuff. You know, like it's like you know, like you said, you know, me growing up Muslim, I had those questions that maybe you growing up Christian had to the church. I wasn't necessarily that person who was like, oh no, everything my religion says is true and factual, even if it wasn't necessarily about the race issue of who was black and who was not black, etc. Even just questions that young people ask, whether they're growing up in a church or a mosque, you know, just in religion in general, like, you know.
And I think that that's something that's so important as well, like, make this left, that, I mean, America is a predominantly Christian country, and now there's this Islamophobia and hatred towards Muslims because they think that there's such a huge difference when ultimately there's not. I mean, even if you go by, like, I've read the entire Bible. And there's a part in the Bible where Jesus is like, he gonna pray 3 times a day. So most people in Christianity don't go by most of the things in the Bible. But I mean, but that's also true to say, because I've traveled to Islamic countries and not everybody there is praying 5 times a day, and not everybody there is doing everything that was said in the Quran. So I think that you know, there's this whole, but in order to justify what America is doing in other parts of the world, they gotta make you hate somebody. Just the same way, in order to justify murdering innocent black men in the street, they have to justify it by pushing this, what did Hillary Clinton call us? Super predators and shit. You know, they have to push that. And I remember Farrakhan made this really good point once, where he was saying, if you go to other parts of the world and they've never encountered an African American person before, what they've encountered is movies, the imagery that America allows them to see, because they're not going to get everything, you know. And it's crazy that even despite that, especially in my childhood, the most famous people in the world were still African Americans. It was Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson, you know. But it's like they still push that. I remember the first time when I was young, I had the opportunity to travel to Morocco and Spain. And I took there's like a ferry that goes from Morocco to Spain and passes the Rock of Gibraltar.
Exactly.
My mother, she actually was doing like tour guide stuff, because my mother's fluent in Spanish from when she was in
public school system.
No, she was in the Peace Corps from Venezuela and Colombia, so she's fluent in Spanish. So she got to get like trips, and we get to go for free.
Nice.
So I got to go free to Morocco, And we're on the boat from Spain to Morocco, and these kids come up to me and ask me if I have a gun on me. Because they figured I was American, and they come talk to me, and I'm speaking English, and they're like, oh, you're American, do you have a gun on you? And I was like, at the time, I was a sarcastic little kid, but I was just like, yeah, I snuck it on the plane and the fucking boat. Like, no, I don't have a gun on me. Like, what kind of question is that? But it was so interesting. Like, and that trip was at the same time I was studying Islam. So was
that your first trip internationally?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
I got to go to Fatima's mosque in Morocco, which is the oldest mosque in West Africa. And so this is the crazy shit. This is when I knew there was something different. So also, you know, like the king's name is Hasan when I was there. So I'm telling people, you know, my name is Michael, but I'd like to be called Hasan. So they're like, you're studying Islam. And my mother was very proud that I'm studying something. So she was like, yeah, he's studying this. And they're asking her like, and you're okay with this? And she was like, yes, I'm secure in my faith, you know? So they loved me out there. Like they was like taking me to the mosque, like I said, and then we went to some place that they did like prayer rugs and tapestries and all this stuff, and they gave me a prayer rug. I still have it to this day. You gonna bust this right here. And so on this trip, there were different people that were on this trip who paid to be on this trip. And some of them happened to be Caucasian Americans, and they got mad as fuck. They were mad.
That like, they were showing you love?
They were, yeah.
Oh my God.
They were mad like that they gave me this prayer rug. Now mind you, at the time I'm like 13 years old. I'm a fucking child. And they were showing like this disgust and disregard to a child and the person that's fucking translating things for them. Because in Spain, my mother did all the translations, and then in Morocco, some people spoke Spanish. So, and it's like, why would you be mad at us? Like, if anything, and you go on a trip, usually they give the tour guide something because this is the person that's bringing them business.
True, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, it was so crazy. That show was like, show me something about privilege, and when they don't have the privilege, the lashing out that happens.
When they don't get all the attention as well, you know, like.
And then also that what was interesting, it was my first time seeing somebody that wasn't a slave owner on money. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have King Hasan on the money out there, so it's not George Washington or Ben Franklin or these motherfuckers. So I'm like, it gives me a different perspective as well. And then also in Morocco, people's shades range. So there's from people that's really dark to people that's very light, and they're all intermingling, talking, having conversations, doing business, and it don't seem like it's a problem. People praying next to each other, you know, elbow to elbow, foot to foot. You know what I'm saying? So it was something else to witness growing up here, because a lot of people don't realize, like, New Jersey was if not the last, it was one of the last northern states to emancipate. My mother and my grandmother, growing up in Camden, they grew up with segregation.
Because you said it was basically segregated on purpose. I mean,
yeah, the Mason-Dixon line technically goes through South Jersey. So that's why, like, when you think about, like, the Mumia situation in Philly, like, Philly is a very segregated place as well, even though it's still in the north. So she dealt with a lot of racism growing up.
That's the thing.
So it was so important. It was so important for her to take me to Africa.
Understood.
And then, like, because after she got to go to Morocco, she actually got to lead another trip that I didn't get to go on to Senegal.
She went after?
Yeah, after Morocco, she went to Senegal. She led another trip over there because she also, not only was she doing like tour guide stuff, she was doing health advocacy as well. So she was taking people to hospitals and connecting nurses from over there with nurses from over here, and like that's what she do.
So just to get back to the hip hop, can I play the first track I heard by you? I mean, you know what I'm saying? This is the first track I heard from you.
Now I know, man. I've been talking through like 3 cities and shit.
This is what the Freestyle Drive is for. You know what I'm saying? Is to get to know the artists, get to know their background, hear their opinion on everything.
Yeah.
But I do want to get into the music as well.
So before you do that though, this is the medical center.
Okay.
This at one point was the largest hospital in the world. This right here used to actually be the psych ward. Used to be right in here, These are all now luxury apartments and condominiums.
They still look like hospitals, though. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, this shit was built in like in the 1920s, I believe.
Do you know how recent it got taken? Yeah, I see right there the sign that says a luxury apartment.
Yeah, nah, they switched it over within the last 10 years. It's called the Beacon. And it's funny because, like, if you talk to old heads from out here, they're like, ain't no way in hell you would have me live in a fucking medical center. Like,
that used to be
the people, the malpractice alone. You know what I'm saying?
All the cases, you mean? Like
and just the people who've passed away and then all this, that, and the other. It's crazy. It's luxury apartments now, and that's gentrification at work.
They don't leave nothing.
You know, they got security and everything.
That is crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, we make a left up on Baldwin right now.
No, thank you for bringing that up, you know, because it is an issue. You know, we talk about it in New York a lot, but Jersey is majorly affected, like you said, by this gentrification, especially Jersey City.
So Jersey City is like that, the downtown Manhattan.
We'll talk about when I first heard you. You know, I know you had, you know, mixtapes and albums before, maybe this track that I was introduced to you at least, so just want to mention that. But this was Tales of the Lost Tribe, before that album, which was amazing. Still listen to those songs and all that. This is the first song I heard though off that album, and you know, let's get into it. Tales of the Lost Tribe.
Fifth column, Hasan Salaam, scientific by Freedom Productions. It's another tale of the lost tribe. Many born, many died, survived. I got so much to say, but little time to say it. Only so long for the reaper come collecting his payment. Unlike most in the game, I don't play to be famous. It's the message, not the messenger. I consider it sacred. Make love to the pages. Tracks give birth to the verse in the crowd. You watch it go through growth stages. Without a cutting agent, take it back to the basics. Tagging on the wall, shell toes with fat laces. Banging on the lunchroom tables. I spit it like I spit it. Everybody can relate to what pain is. I'm lost in this wilderness, still wandering aimless. No median example to explain what sane is. So polished and stainless in this world of anguish. Money talked, better learn to speak that language. As corporations fight for product placement on spaceships, paddy wagons scoop us up like makeshift slave ships. Sons of Canaan fabricated ways to enslave us. Willie Lynch technology, degrees of the Masons. The black stone show the origin the atom was shaped with. They stole our birthright and replaced it with ways of pagans. With the sun, crescent moon, and the star of David. Save the accolades, I give Allah all praises. When I return to my graces, Tomb Raiders will search my grave after 7 days and won't find no traces. So welcome to the majors where the stakes are dangerous. Concrete watercolors fill the chalk on the pavement. Same one that built the schools, put the bars on the cages. Ignorance is a disease and it's highly contagious. So rise up, mighty nation, like the dawn of creation. Put them high and grab hold of a constellation. Pour some libation for the word of revelation. Allah Akbar, Ashe, and Amen. To the lost tribe, question where Allah is, or where Jehovah, Yahweh, and Jah is. The Most High is manifested all around and inside us. See, it's the light that guide us. Willie Lynch out to conquer and divide us. America's making laws to deprive us. So take heed, this a word to the wisest. Out of darkness, the son of man rises. Born in modern day Babylon, atop of Mount Sinai. Mixing clay and iron like Master Farad. So recognize God, the streets got 1,001 tales like those of Scheherazade. Only difference is majority and with the most tragic epilogue. Bricks on the block been chipping off from the shots of the Kalashnikov. Most of our life spent chasing a mirage. Fast cars and faster women, but this is water in the desert straight from Zams as well. The moral to the stories dead men can't tell. To hell we've grown accustomed, know it all too well. So any glimpse of heaven we rejoice like the birth of Emmanuel. I got dreams of being free of raising seeds, and I die if it means that my brothers would succeed. I know it's hard to see the forest through all of the trees, so whenever the angels call I fall to my knees. Listen to the lost tribe who question where Allah is, or where Jehovah, Yahweh, and Jah is. The Most High is manifested all around and inside us. See, it's the light that guide us. Willie Lynch out to conquer and divide us. America's making laws to deprive us. So take heed, this a word to the wisest. Out of darkness the son of man rises. 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 Out of darkness the son of man rises.
Yeah, Tales of the Lost Tribe. Love
that's my joint
that.
right
So that's
there.
a classic joint right there. Whenever I see you perform it live, get even crazy hype. I know you.
Good looking, man.
That joint is amazing right there. What inspired you to write that song? I mean, I know you kind of spoke about everything that influenced you.
Yeah.
But when you wrote that song, what was going through your mind, or what were at that moment? Do you remember?
I mean, I believe that God, Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever you believe in, the science, whatever it is, exists inside of you. Like whatever it took to make the universe, it took to make you. You know, so I think that that's one thing we allow people to separate us from God, which then allows them to manipulate. So it's just like reminding people, like, that's number one. Number two, for my people, like what we've come through to even be here right now, what our ancestors survived for us to be here right now, to me is like, it show you God exists. And I understand like this pain, you know, there's a whole lot of pain, there's a whole lot of problems. But that shit has made us a beautiful people that can still find joy amidst this pain and amidst these problems. Like, I don't know. It's amazing to me. It makes me love who we are, and want to keep on keeping on, you know. So that's what it's about to me. And there's this part of the Quran where it say one day the sun will rise in the west, and I believe that's our people. We gotta rise out of this.
Nice. Okay.
This is actually the first location where we ever did the food and clothing drive.
Here?
Yeah, right here on Forest and Ocean. Because I knew the cats that actually owned that bodega before, and they told us we could set up there.
Nice.
But the foot traffic wasn't as much as we have as much as we had wanted. So then we moved to the next location that we on our way to.
But that was where the initial.
That was where the initial. The first one that we ever did was right there.
How long were you out there for when you first started? Like you gave it a year and saw how it went, or
honestly, I think we was out there twice, and we was like, yo, there's not enough foot traffic here. We gotta move down.
Okay.
So then we went down over in front of Chocolate City on Jackson, and then we moved up Jackson to Grant and Jackson. Martin Luther King Drive in Jersey City, it actually used to be called Jackson Avenue. And it was named after one of the first families, black families that settled in this neighborhood. The hill is predominantly black. One of the first families that settled up here, people said that they were freed slaves. And they settled over here on what's now Communipore and the corner of Jackson.
Okay.
The city changed it to MLK, which I always think is a slap in the face. Like, you can't have two streets, you gonna make this left. You can't have two streets named after black folk. Like, you know, you got Ocean. Ocean ain't named after nobody. They could have done that. I understand Garfield named after President Garfield.
Okay.
It is what it is. But so our second location that we moved to right here is right here on the corner of Grant and Jackson. And
so you still call it Jackson?
I call it Jackson out of respect, you know.
Yeah, no, understood.
But so we were right over here.
Okay.
And this is my old mosque right here.
Right here.
Masjid Muhammad, yeah.
Nice.
And they actually used to, not only them, but there was also Spanish soul food spot over here. They used to donate tables for us to use, or plastic bags. And like the community really got involved. And like, you know, even the cats that would be out there grinding started donating after a certain amount of time.
Wow, okay.
And you know, like first time when we set up out there, everybody was like, what's going on? Cats came and spoke. We spoke to them like, we ain't fucking with nothing. You know, this is actually my old job right here, the Urban League, Hudson County. I used to work with kids that's coming out of like the youth house and things like that there.
So there's a lot of history on this block right here.
Yeah,
for you and you know, your partners who used to do the fundraising and
and you gonna make this left, because actually we could drive by my old crib too.
Cool.
But you know, it's like the thing with Jersey City, I think, especially up here, was they started putting cameras everywhere. Now people are used to fucking cameras everywhere.
True.
But if you really do the knowledge on it, they started putting them in projects first. Nobody cared. Then they started putting them out in the hood. Like, we drive, I'll show you. Like, we gonna keep going down and make a left at the light. Then they started putting them in the hood. Nobody cared. Now cameras is everywhere, and people are starting to feel like their privacy is invaded and shit. And one of the things that happened in Jersey City was that cameras being on main avenues pushed people to doing certain things on side streets, which kind of made the older community have a problem with the younger community, the elderly and the young.
I got you.
Kind of like how that Willie Lynch shit worked all the time, you know? So it's like, you don't make this left.
Cause friction and
you know, and really, when we would set up out there and do it, you know, people would talk, like when we set up the first spot we set up, we thought that if we were close to the church, we would get more donations from church members. They just looked at us like, what the fuck are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, not to say that all church members shunned us, but the people that are the people nobody wants to talk to or talk about, them brothers started donating.
Understood. Yeah.
You know,
the ones you know, the one who you might stereotype as, oh, they're not going to contribute anything.
Yeah, like
positive,
this dude hustling. He not gonna do nothing. So also, I used to teach chess and creative writing right here.
I know you was
right
a chess
here
player
at this
like
school.
that.
Yeah, man, I love chess, man. Chess is my thing.
And
man.
Creative writing too.
Yeah,
writing? Nice.
that's why I work with the kids. Well, it was an after school program, so we had 1st to 8th graders at the time. Now it's a performing arts school. My dude, he became a fireman and shit. So there's like a little street coming up right here. You gonna bust that right.
So what's the name of this part of Jersey?
This is Jersey City, but this is called the Hill.
Okay, the Hill.
So you gonna make this right.
Myrtle.
Yeah.
Right.
So like, you know, I think one of the things that we said that we wanted to do with the Food and Clothing Drive was be something consistently positive.
Okay.
So like, there'll be kids in the neighborhood, like they'll know if we out there, I'm down to throw the football like in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they would know that cats might be freestyling or whatever the case, or at least you would have people that's down to build, you know. And like Lioness was like everybody's mother, so you come to a problem and Lioness gonna holler at you. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like that. And you know, we also we never asked for no permits. We never asked no police to do it.
Okay.
We just did it. And I think that was also important. Because we're not going to let the police, we're going to bust this left. We're not going to let the police or anybody else tell us what we can and can't do in our own neighborhood.
Exactly.
You know, so I think, you know, they wound up putting the camera on that corner up, which was always funny to us. So like, we never had no...
That same exact corner where you
we never had no altercations with them. There'll be times when they would just sit there and watch. But it would just be like, fuck them, you know?
So you spent a lot of years here? This is, you know, where you grew up?
Make it right. Nah, like this was... I guess I moved here when I was 17.
Okay, alright, so you...
But I was on my own. So to me, this is my first place.
Okay.
You know, well, no, I wasn't. I was like 18, turning 19. Because my mother put me out when I was 17.
Okay.
But I grew up like I bounced. I lived with my mother. I would spend time like summers with my grandmother.
Was it because you was wilding out, or I mean, we don't gotta get into it, but I'm
just at times,
doing like what teenagers do, basically.
Yeah, at times, and then also my father always lived in Jersey City, so I would be out here. Like my father had battles with addiction and things like that. So, you know, at certain points, like when he was sobering up and stuff like that, I would spend more time out here.
So you still had a relationship with him, even though it wasn't necessarily as strong as...
Yeah, nah, I learned like, for example, like I learned how to box in Jersey City. There used to be a gym out here called Bufano's in the Heights that my father used to take me to.
Okay.
You know, so it's like, you know, that's the main thing I learned from my father was how to box. My father actually did a little amateur stuff here and there. He was into like bodybuilding and all that kind of stuff. So that level of thing is it's really like the only thing that he taught me, but it's still valuable nonetheless. I came to this ill realization the other day, like My father taught me how to fight, but my mother taught me when to fight and why to fight.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And what to fight. You know what I mean? Like she taught me everything with that except the how.
Okay.
You know, to me, like I believe that struggles is all connected, you know what I'm saying? And the struggle of brothers and sisters from different parts of the world are so relative to ours, and I think that a lot of people look to African Americans for our music because our music has been our only weapon. You know, like I look to like the Palestinians when I be like, yo, them cats be out there with slingshots getting busy, you know? And that's one of the weapons that they adapted. And we adapted our music because our drums were always important to us. You know, so that was me on the bottom.
Right here?
Yeah, for like what? But then over here, I live here. I used to live on Pamrico and the Boulevard, Duncan and Bergen, like all over. And then I lived in Bayonne for a while too.
This is a song I want to play next. You know, being a Lebanese cat, listening to it, and I was like, wow, this shit is hot. Hezbollah by Hasan Salaam.
Yeah.
For 400 years going on 5, we done had the man's foot on the back
You got
of
the
our
Arabic
neck.
sample in there.
Trying to stomp the life
Yeah, my man MOD from Jersey City, Egyptian brother. He made this beat too.
You're gonna be labeled a terrorist. Man, fuck that shit. We've been treated like terrorists before they even had a name for that shit. But, you know, only thing they understand is money and blood. So if it has to be shared, so let it be.
Yeah, and me, I'm Rush
Shot his mom, nigga, Miss Burner. Loaded up with a shell, he's about to take God's work into his own hands. He's sick of what the fuck is going on. Shit is
I'm a peaceful man, but don't force my hand. The pen mighty is the sword and the Lord's command. Defend the promised land, die the Hezbollah. Take a stand on the sand where my family died. Hogtied to apartheid's chains and lies. This is the sound when the worlds collide. Arise like the tide off the coast and crashing. Titans clashing, time to take action. Flirting with depth is a fatal attraction. Life's a bitch, but I keep a climaxing. Elohim, seraphim, divine combatants. Nuclear holocaust, leave the world in ashes. Brilliant flashes, laced with tongue lashes. With thoughts that inspired ideas and Athens. Fact that I matter, instrumental to all. Final call, get your arms, declaration of war. It goes, damn. Terrorists up in my own land, and I'm taking matters into my own hand. For the Hezbollah, for the BLA, for the Panthers, for the Brown Beret.
عبد الرشاش حزب الله لازم يبقى مرفوع الراس.
Allah Akbar, all praise the gods. Impregnate the universe, give birth to the stars. Prophesied by the wise that preceded these bars. Was my face engraved in the rocks on Mars. The pigs is persistent, lynching my existence. Freedom's at the end of the lights in the distance. Jihad, Nietzsche make up in an instant. That's why I'm here to pass judgment with a vengeance. My pain, oil in my veins just like lava. From the streets of Jerks to the strip of Gaza. The world won't understand till I'm buried and martyred. And seated in the heavens at the right hand of the Father. Damn.
Treated like a terrorist up in my own land, and I'm taking matters into my own hand. Treated like a terrorist up in my own land, and I'm taking matters into my own hand. Hezbollah لازم يبقى مرفوع الراس.
I'ma flick myself with a bomb strapped to the track like I'ma see you in hell. Can't picture a world God will lead to the frail. When the battle for the heavens proved the strong prevail. This was written in braille, chiseled in stone. Bring every element to deliver this poem. Never changing my ways even when I'm in Rome. Maneuvering through life like converts in the catacombs. Soldier in the battle zone where the laws get spat upon. Threats get acted on, no holy matrimony. So we take two, pass it on, keep on, keeping on. Temperature rising, the heat is on, and the pressure keeps mounting. Fuck going platinum, long as it reach 144,000. I'ma keep sounding the trumpets of war till my heart stops pounding. For the BLA, for the Panthers, for the Brown Beret, Hezbollah.
terrorist
up in my own land.
I'm taking matters into my own
hand.
like a terrorist
In my own land, and I'm taking matters into my own hand.
Wow, Hezbollah, that joint
Yeah.
is fire. That joint is what, like, you know, you were kind of getting into it, that you were inspired to write it, kind of taking matters into your own hand, influences from your mom and your pops of fighting, whether it's self-defense or for a cause. Is that what the primary motivation for that song? What
Honestly,
why Hezbollah? Like, what led you to?
I saw like a news clip of the Red Crescent. You know, out here we have the Red Cross, and over there they have the Red Crescent. And I was seeing like, wow, what Hamas is doing with hospitals and schools, or Hezbollah is doing, to me was like similar to the Panthers and the Brown Berets. And I was just like, to me it's the same struggle. Like, oppressors work together, you know, like different, like if you look at the dictators that have worked with the United States to oppress their own people or other people. So why should we as the oppressed not communicate out of respect and solidarity for other people who are oppressed? You know, I look at AIM, the American Indian Movement, you know, and what they did in their time. So it's like now in the time that we are in, we see a lot of people coming out to support Black Lives Matter. You know, and I feel the same thing, that we should be speaking out about what's going on in other communities as well. Like what you see happening in Dakotas with the pipeline.
Yeah,
you know, that's people attacking their land, people attacking their livelihood, people attacking their life, their fucking water. You know what I'm saying? And we can't make a big stink about Flint and then not talk about that. We can't talk about how, you know, we're brutalized and we're attacked here, and not also talk about, you know, I was reading about a case the other day about how tribes have their own councils and their own laws, but technically if an American citizen like goes onto their land and commits a crime, they can't try those people on their own with their council or with their own laws. So I was reading about this case where like these white dudes went to a reservation and like raped the woman, and then they can't prosecute them on their own land.
And it's supposed to be sovereign.
Yeah, and then on top of that, the overall community outside of the reservation don't want nothing to fucking do with it.
Don't give a shit. Yeah.
So it's just like, you know.
Or they might barely serve any jail time, even if there is a case, for example.
It's like, to me, I look at it as all the same thing. You know, I'm a heavy supporter with Black Lives Matter. You know, but I know as well, people are supporting us. We got to support them as well, because we have to show a united front. You know, is oppression is wrong no matter where it is or how it's done. You know, oppression against women, oppression like what's going on in North Carolina right now. Like, people are making all this fuss about transgender folk using a restroom, but that law is deeper than that. If you're gay or lesbian or transgender, they can deny you a driver's license. They can deny you things that would help you live your life and feed your family and survive. You know, there's so many things that go into that. So oppression is wrong no matter who's doing it and where it's done. So it's like we have to fight it no matter what.
That's like one of the issues you were bringing up with the cameras. It's like, oh, they put the cameras in the projects, nobody cared.
Yeah.
Then it moved to the more wider neighborhood, nobody cared. Now when it's affecting everybody, all of a sudden it's an issue.
Yeah.
So the same thing with the transgender issue. People are like, oh, it's not. Who cares? It's not my issue. Oh, it's just affecting a small group of people. But it can be eventually used to deny other people rights in other ways.
You think they'll stay there? They're like, oh, they let that ride. Well, I don't think Muslims need the right to vote. Or I don't think women deserve. I mean, shit. Women still aren't making the same amount as men, and that's still going by, and people aren't making enough of a problem with that either. You know, so there's so many ways and so many different people who are being oppressed and disenfranchised, that we have to all work together to get everybody the rights of equality that they deserve.
I mean, that's what, you know, and and it's kind of in the tradition of the Black Panthers or the BLA is working with, you know, the Palestinians or in Algeria or just in other countries in general, Cuba, for example, building that international front. You know, I try to tell people no one's gonna liberate another person, but we can all help each other liberate ourselves. You know, so it's very important with the Black Lives Matter released a whole statement talking about international issues. You know, and it wasn't just trying to focus locally, for example, and saying F what our government's doing abroad, you know. So I feel like you addressed that in your music too. You know, you've performed in Occupy Wall Street, you performed at Black August, you performed, you know, for the Guinea-Bissau, for the Congo as well. I mean, you've done so much international issues. Can we talk about your trip to Guinea-Bissau?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why, you know, I know you went out there, you did workshops with youth, and I believe you helped build a well for the community.
We did a freshwater well, a medical facility, and a school.
How did that start? Like, how did you trip out there?
I performed for something called the Impossible Music Sessions.
Okay.
Here at Littlefield in Brooklyn. Through Austin Dacey. The first is such a genius idea. The first one they did is where they try to connect artists and musicians from the United States with artists and musicians from places where their voices might be silenced or oppressed for speaking out.
Okay.
So the first one they did was with a rock group from Iran whose lead singer is a woman.
Okay.
You know, so you know they were trying to shut the sister down, right? So they got to perform out here. They did for the second one. They were like, we want to connect you with a group called Baloberos from Guinea-Bissau. They put out a song in which they were pretty much exposing, like, Guinea-Bissau itself is a complete narco state. So
what drugs?
With drugs that funnel from
what drug? Like what's their name?
Anything and everything that because it's drugs that are
there, or
it's
it's
like a port basically where drugs are coming in and out of Central and South America. Drugs are coming in and out of
like Afghanistan,
Europe,
or whatever.
and Asia. So it's like that's why I say it's pretty much whatever drug I guess is going through there at the moment. You know, because it's going both ways and all around, you know. If anybody's got my first album, Paradise Lost, a lot of the pictures that I took was in the cemetery over there. So like with Guinea-Bissau, they linked us with Baloberos, and with Baloberos,
what kind of music was Baloberos?
They do hip hop. They do
nice.
hip hop music. They speak in Guinea-Bissau like Portuguese Creole. So the first thing was we had to translate the music, and I remember at Marvel's crib, we in there like he's like, I know this one dude. He's from Brazil. He live around the corner. He speaks Portuguese. So we get this dude to come and translate some of it. And he's like, I have no fucking idea what this is. He's like, he could pull out certain words because of the Portuguese, but it's so much Creole and slang. Slang does his hip hop.
True, yeah.
So it's Creole, slang, regional dialect. They also speak some Wolof there. So it's like a mashup. And this dude was like, at one point I thought his head was gonna explode because he was just like, I'm trying to figure it out. But it was like, you know, finally we got through it. So basically I performed their song, added a verse to it of my own, and performed their lyrics in English. They called in via Skype because they had got at one point snatched up by the military police out there because they were talking about how fucked up their government is out there and all this shit, you know. So like them brothers is seriously courageous human beings. And from there, after this performance, this sister reached out to us about doing performances through like a coalition that they have out there, and coming out to Guinea-Bissau, and we got to spend a little time in Senegal. And like I said, my mother had been there, so I'd already gotten these joints for Senegal. And my mother was like, you have to go. Like every black person from America should go to either Senegal or Ghana to go to one of the slave ports to see like the door of no return and understand what your ancestors been through. So we got to go spend some time in Senegal. I went out there with my brother Raj Flo, from
So
For the
first you
Love
went
of
to Guinea-
Words.
first you
No,
went
we
to
went to
Guinea-
Senegal
oh, you went to
first
Senegal first,
because
okay.
you can't go directly to Guinea-Bissau.
Oh, okay.
It's on America's no visit,
Really?
no fly,
Okay,
whatever.
okay,
So
okay.
we had to go to Senegal first, and then we had to take one of them Indiana Jones planes and shit. Motherfuckers outside like.
Oh my god.
So, you know, we went to Guinea-Bissau, got to perform with them. While we were there was a failed military coup, which was fucking crazy, but wound up to be for our benefit in the sense that they thought that the military police might come and shut our show down. Like, it was crazy. When we landed, the military is there, you know what I'm saying? So
on the border, you mean? Checking,
no,
you know?
yeah. On the border, and on the plane, we were sitting, like, Raj was sitting next to the dude. I think he was like the Minister of Agriculture for the country, and I happened to be sitting next to a sister that was a nun from, I want to say she was from Cameroon, and so they were like breaking down the whole country to us, and they were basically saying that, you know, the people in power are extremely corrupt, and they had sold off like the fishing space to other countries, China, I believe China, North Korea, Portugal, Spain, and somewhere else. So like you can't even go fucking fishing
like
in
the
your
water
own,
rights,
the water
rights
and it's like one of those countries. It's right on the water. It's right on the Atlantic, and then on top of that, it's like all these little islands off of Guinea-Bissau. So there's like, it's also the most luscious, greenest place I've ever seen in my life. They're like the world's third largest producer of cashews and a bunch of other things. But at the same time, when we were there, it was one of the 3 poorest countries in the world. But it's like looking there, you're like, I could just throw anything into the ground and it'll grow here.
It's very fertile.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, like if you throw a TV in there, you have a TV tree popping up tomorrow or some shit. Like, it was crazy. And it's just, and it's so sad because it's like the people aren't allowed to really produce nothing because they got them on locks out there.
Monopoly and whatever, the corruption.
Yeah, so, you know, they were breaking that down to us. It
was the original plan to build a water well, or did that happen later on?
That happened later on, actually. After we had come back from the performance, a sister named Devin Austin reached out to us, and I guess she traced her lineage back to Guinea-Bissau. And when she Googled Guinea-Bissau, like, our names popped up.
Oh shit.
So she reached out to us like, yo.
Not too many hip hop artists necessarily go out there, I'm assuming.
I was the first one.
First, okay.
So they were like, she was like, yo, I want to do like a fundraiser because she had already done a project over there where she raised money for a bunch of young women to be able to have dresses to be able to go to school.
Okay.
Like, Devin she's an awesome person.
So.
And so she was like, well, there's a school in this very small village called the Jati that keeps getting washed away by the rainy season every year. So we want to build a school there. Do you think you would do like a fundraiser show? And then Raj had the idea, like, if you do a show, it's just a show. Like, the show happened, the show's over. If you're lucky, you raise what you need to raise. But if not, you know, it's done for. So at the time, I was gonna put out like a free mixtape.
Okay.
So Raj was like, you know, why don't we just raise money with the CD? And I was like, well, let's just make the CD that. You know what I'm saying? So like, the life of the CD or however long it takes is, so we're in Bayonne now, but like however long it takes, it'll just get it'll get taken care of that way.
Okay.
You know, so I thought that was like a genius idea. Like, Raj, that dude, he does. To Raj. Yeah, shout out to Raj, man. Raj is on point. Like,
we born for Jill Stein, Raj, right? He was on his Bernie shit first. He was on his Bernie
he just doesn't want Trump or Hillary.
Okay, me neither. I'm with them, so.
Nah, yo, it's cool. Like, me and that brother have built on a lot of good things to help people together, yo. Like, he's very much for and about the people, yo. Like, that's a real good dude right there. But so like with that, we found out they needed more than just a school there. So we were able to use the record to do that. And thanks
which record was
Music Is My Weapon.
Music Is My Weapon, yeah.
So all the profits and proceeds. Like we didn't even do a portion. It was like as soon as we can pay back studio time and the amount that it costed to press this shit, like all of the money. And actually we waited anyway. Like so we put the money to get the things done first.
Okay.
And then we paid back the cost of doing the album. And we actually had, when we first were doing the fundraiser, like some artists from Guinea-Bissau donated their donated artwork. The kids from Guinea-Bissau donated artwork, and some of them wrote thank you letters. Because we actually did a project where we connected 2 schools here in the States. We did a school in Queens and the Albizu Campo school in Harlem with kids in Guinea-Bissau, and they wrote questions for one another, like what's it like to live in Africa? What's it like to live in America?
Yeah, I like that.
Asked questions like, we had questions for them, like if you were president, what would you do to fix your country? And I'm talking about, we originally had them, like kids writing rhymes and poems, but then some of them just started writing. And the things that these kids say, I'd vote for them over Trump, Hillary, or Jill Stein. I'd vote for them over any of them in a heartbeat. Like this one, and especially like when you're listening to some of the children in Guinea-Bissau who are like, I will end narco trafficking. And you're talking about, like, you know, second graders, like, third graders, and they're telling you straight up, like, I'll end narco trafficking. Fuck all the bullshit. I ain't giving you no runaround. That's #1 problem that we got here. That's what like, I love them kids, man. And we actually have that recorded. So if you go on the YouTube, you can see that.
Before I play a genre of music as my weapon, you want to mention anything about Bayonne?
We're gonna just drive past one of the other places that I live. But I was gonna kind of go to this park that even before I ever lived in Bayonne, I've been coming to this park since I was a kid. It's like one of my favorite sit down and write joints. So I figured that since not yet. So I figured we would go there since we talking about a lot of old joints that I wrote. Now Bayonne is a peninsula. It's like a working class kind of community. Police here racist as fuck. Make this right. This is how racist the police is here. Someone was fucking defiling the building I live in the elevator, writing fucking swastikas. Police come question me like I did it. I open the they knocking on the door. I'm like, nah. They said open the door. Open the door. They're like, you drawing swastikas in the elevator? I'm like, fuck out of here. Yeah. So this actually my building right here.
Is this where the incident happened?
Yeah, this is where the incident happened. With the elevator and shit. It's funny because so like my father, he actually got priced out of this building because now they're trying to move. You can stay straight.
Okay.
This Bayonne, where I say it's a working class neighborhood, but now the influx of New Yorkers and stuff, they're trying to kind of turn it into.
Prices gone up.
Yeah, they're trying to turn it even more into Hoboken. Like, I mean, there's definitely really nice parts of Bayonne, but it was also a place where, you know, working class people could still afford to live at. You know.
Exactly.
So
working class people need nice shit too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
That's the crazy thing to me. Like, just make the shit nice for everybody. No matter what their economic status is, everybody deserves to be comfortable and
that's a
live in something nice, man.
That's a lot of the resentment, you know, which led to, like, you know, the riot, you know, Bernie Sanders and Trump. Is a lot of the resentment of Americans that at one point you don't have to be filthy rich to own a home, to have your car. You know, you had enough. You had your job, whether it was in a factory or wherever. You paid your bills. You had your home, nothing fancy, a little backyard. You had your regular car. But now it's like people
go up this way and then what's the right?
You can't buy a home, you know, unless you want to be in debt forever. In debt forever, way out of state, another state.
Have to sell your kids off and shit.
You can't buy a home necessarily where your parents grew up and where your grandparents grew up. You got to leave the state basically, which is happening.
You gonna turn right into.
Is the park right here?
Yeah.
It's the park, yeah.
It's county park right here.
Go inside the park?
Yeah, right inside the park.
So a lot of that gentrification, that economic collapse has led to this rising of this moron. Take this left here?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
So like at night they close these gates come out here, roll a L, come down by the water, and not be bothered. Like,
I was by the water, beautiful.
Yeah, nah, this that's like Elizabeth and Newark right on the other side right here. So you got a nice view. You gotta go around.
Yeah, cool. No, this is a nice
So
park.
this a real nice park.
Oh, the Bayonne Bridge right there.
They got some courts over there. Nah, Bayonne Bridge is that way.
Oh, what bridge?
If you're trying to see Staten, that's part of the turnpike over there.
Okay. Because I know the Bayonne Bridge, they're doing construction on it or something right now.
Yeah, Bayonne Bridge. Walked across that a couple times.
Okay.
That's young. That's when I was young, trying to go see a lady or two in Staten Island. Go to some reggae parties in Staten Island and shit. Well, yeah, nah, this spot down here, I always liked it because it's super peaceful over here. Because I used to live like right on city line, like the border of Jersey City and Bayonne. I used to ride my bike over here.
Oh, this is beautiful, man.
Yeah, nah, it's a
boats,
nice spot.
The cranes and everything, yeah.
What's the next song you want?
Yeah, the next song I want to play something off Music Is My Weapon.
Oh, do musical chairs. That's my.
I don't got that joint right here.
Oh, that's fucked up, man.
I got 1911. I don't got musical chairs.
He got all the wild out shit.
I do got all the wild out shit.
All the wild out
I got
shit.
some of the common stuff off the new album though.
Nah, it's all good.
Right?
It's funny because I was saying like about writing songs and I was just thinking about down here. It's like the spot. Yeah. Hasan Salaam. Music is my weapon. When you get back up to the top, just make a left somewhere.
It go 1 for the trouble, 2 for the time, 3 for the hustle, and 4 for the grind. You know the struggle, I go for mine. I'm so inclined to G.O. divine. 1 for the trouble, 2 for the time, 3 for the hustle, and 4 for the grind. You know the struggle, I go for mine. I'm so inclined to G.O. divine. I rock and roll for the soul of my ancestors and built my dynasty without the Masonic hand gestures. Yeah, this is church right here. Young black don't give a fuck, America's nightmare. Next level, I'm a rebel with a cause, and y'all can't say 2 words without no homo or pause. Heard your bars and I'm somewhat appalled, so clapping that you got nothing to do with no applause. Memorize this slogan, hoes, jaws, and laws was made to be broken. Honestly, what the fuck are y'all smoking? Hip-hop must be dead with the shit that y'all promoting. Be nasty, sing a nigga ain't the first for a rapper, but it's ill out ignorance, make her think that she blacker. Coming out like race don't matter, but it's white girl mob like the Ku Klux chapter. Bitch, I ain't drinking the Kool-Aid. Whoever co-signed is just a new age slave. Looking in the mirror like, look what the cool made. Give a fuck about you or your YouTube plays. I'm a lover, not a fighter, but if you want me to kill you, shit, I can fulfill your wish, then dance on your grave like Thriller. So pick one finger, the middle or the trigger. I'm much more than married to the weapon I carry. Born to be like soulmates, brought together by fortune or fate, and ain't no way that you can make it separate. It goes praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Music is my weapon. What up? Listen. My albums are more autobiography of Malcolm, AK by the windowsill. I rock for the memory of young Emmett Till, riding shotgun with a shotty like the name Bobby Seale. Fuck a record deal like how executives feel. Last supper, get your meal. Revelation 7 seal. Put work in the field like David Walker's appeal. So bitches like Brandy is whipping wheels of steel. That's a cheap shot, I guess, but the game's gone soft. I am the least not impressed. Leeches in the game, trying to feast on the flesh. Tough talk, but y'all run the police under stress. Ain't no swine for mine, you dig? My style halal, never fuck with the pigs. It is what it is, get in the way of my plans. Torture on stage like one of Akon's fans.
Yeah, Music Is My Weapon, 1911 off Music Is My Weapon.
Yeah.
I had to play that joint. I know you.
No, that's my joint.
Yeah,
that's
I'm sure it is, of course. That beat is wild, you know, like the electric guitar style.
R.B.Y. got busy on that.
That shit is crazy. So that's the album where the proceeds go to the Guinea-Bissau.
Oh, yeah. 1911. That's my favorite firearm.
Why'd you name it 1911? Where is that?
That's my favorite firearm.
That's your favorite
45.
firearm. Okay.
So it's like, you know, 1911. We did a whole song about the AK, me, Sport, and CF. That to me, that song, it's like how every like sport come from the angle of being a Kalashnikov, and he give the history of the weapon. CF speaks on the use of the weapon in revolutions and in freedom struggles in South America and Cuba, and then I speak of the AK-47 in this reference to what's going on in the Congo. And then 1911, you know, that's to me like the 45 is just I like 45s.
Okay.
I like the way it do its damage. And in 1911 they use it a lot in
how big is
for like
1911?
for like sport shooting.
Sounds like sport shooting. Okay.
So I mean they're super accurate.
It's a revolver or it's a rifle?
Nah.
I don't know too much about. I don't know too much about guns.
Semi-auto.
Semi-auto. Okay.
Yeah, it's a handgun.
Cool. It is a handgun. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, a lot of these were all these albums done independently? Were you signed to a record label at one point in the beginning, or would you mostly push it independent?
When I put out my first album, Paradise Lost, it was released distribution through Day by Day Entertainment.
Okay.
And then Muhammad Dangerfield and Life in Black and White were released by Viper Records.
Oh, both of them on Viper Records?
Both of them on Viper, yeah.
Okay.
But Children of God and Music Is My Weapon, that was just me. And like I usually, it's funny, like I always consider Music Is My Weapon like that's the Jati's record. That's the Village of the Jati, that's their album. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's the name of the village.
That's the name of the village where we built all the stuff, because to me it's like that was the inspiration behind it, and I feel that, I mean, the music on it is fire, but I feel like also like the support that people put into that record, like it's bigger than just saying it's my shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm real proud to have been a part of that.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, it's important work. I mean, the Children of God album is a classic album too, even though, you know, it was independent. I was listening to that album on my way to Gaza, when we went to Egypt, and that was like
that's when y'all got the picture with Lil Man. That's one of my favorite pictures ever.
Yeah, I took the picture. I was by the pyramids. I saw this young man. I was like, yo, he got glasses like Hasan Salaam. I was like, he looking like a young Hasan Salaam.
Yo, he do look like me when I was
so
young.
I was like, yo.
I traveled back in time. So.
I was like, yo, let me get a picture by the pyramids. You holding the CD. We was playing soccer with them and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I let them have the album and everything too, you know? I need a new copy, Hasan.
I got you. Actually, I got you when we get back.
Don't play. But I do want to play this one song off the album, because, you know, the reason I want to play it is it's an important song, and you know the meaning behind it, but also you connected with Lord Jamal from Brand Nubian, and you were kind of talking in the beginning how you played for your mom a couple of the Brand Nubian, especially like you know, they were always conscious, but you played the more friendly songs, so she won't necessarily, you know, be like against you listening to hip hop. So can we get into this?
I just want to say this more my neighborhood from when I was a child.
Right
we
here?
on City Line right here. Like I lived here before they built that fucking McDonald's.
City Line.
Before they knocked down Curry Woods and shit.
So it's called City Line?
Well, yeah, that's what we call it. But this is like the Greenville section of Jersey City.
I'm getting a real Jersey lesson.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is such a small part.
I mean, one reason why
you're gonna make a left. You're gonna make a left here though, and go down to this little dead end. I always, whenever I'm here, like I've been on the road so much and been in Florida so much that I gotta see what's still standing.
See what happens with New Yorkers?
Because of gentrification, I don't know what's still gonna be there. I gotta take pictures of shit for if I have kids one day to show where it all happened at.
It's like I used to, you know, when I was to drive to Jersey, I used to get frustrated because I get lost a lot. You know what I'm saying?
That's me in Queens. When I go visit my family in Queens.
So many forks in the road. So this is the dead end right here.
Yeah. So we used to. There's like a hole in there, and we used to have like a couch in there. Motherfuckers would just hang out. Like that shit was fucking disgusting. When you think about it now, that shit is crazy. We used to live on the bottom floor of this house, and then up on the top floor.
So you used to go through the hole right here?
And then, but like, it was a little bit different. It's a little brighter than it used to be, I feel like, but it's nice. Like, it was cool because it's like, it's in the cut right here. Like, it was just in the cut.
And it's cool. And the cool thing about the dead end is that
you don't get no through traffic.
Exactly. So you can play ball, you can play football,
The only thing is, the New Jersey Bell was right there. So you get the New Jersey Bell trucks going. But I mean, for the most part, we can get our football games off.
Cool.
And then, you can make this right, because we can hop on 440 to get back to where we going and make this right at the light. But I mean, like, there used to be a post office over here where everybody used to tag up at, and it was the first time I ever got the tag on something.
What was your tag?
My main tag when I was young was Shock.
SHOCK?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I wanted to be shock value, but that takes too fucking long to write. I think it's right. You trying to tag up shock value. Shock itself took long enough to write if you was trying to do a quick ass throw up. So then I would do SV sometimes.
Was you nice on the,
I was decent.
All right.
I feel like I was not as nice as the motherfuckers that's nice. You know what I'm saying? But I did my numbers.
So can you talk about linking up with Lord Jamar? Right?
Yeah,
no. To deal with major influences.
I did a show put together by my man L in VA. It was I've done a couple shows down there. Like, there's a lot of gods and earths out there, because you know, that's where the father's from originally, is from Virginia.
Okay.
And you know, what was it? I think it was either a family day event like they had going on all day, and then Jamal was the headliner.
Okay.
And then I was like the act right before him, like opening up for him or whatever. And it's funny because he'll probably tell you, yo, Haas tell that same motherfucking story. Just to the same story I told you. Like, I told him, like, yo, Brand Nubian was the first group I was allowed to listen to. Okay. Like, this shit is dope. And actually, he was like, he checked my performance. He was just like, yo, I'm down to do some work with you or whatever. So went and built with him for a while, and we did like 2 joints, but just the one that wound up on the record.
This joint is fire right here.
And so that's him singing on it.
Yeah, I figured.
And then of course, you know, it's the Gil Scott Heron sample.
And y'all got the video and all that too.
Yeah,
you shot a
the
for
video
it.
done by a noisemaker. It was a whole production, man. Whole production, and the whole story is some true story shit. The only thing, and I always say this, the only thing that's not true in the story is the Angel Dust character. She doesn't have AIDS.
Okay.
I spoke about that because Children of God, I kind of wrote that album for my students that I was working at the Urban League that we just passed, and at 41. So I was trying to use all the music for lessons when I would build with the kids. And it's funny, like on Life in Black and White, the beginning of Life in Black and White, where the kids are reading the definitions of black and white, those are my old students.
Okay.
They had to.
They're much older now. You still working with them?
Now the motherfuckers is in like college and shit. Like, I'm an old ass man. Nah, because that was like 10 years ago now. So, you know, that was them. Like, we had a creative writing contest. 3 of the kids that you primarily hear, Brian, Duncan, and Tori, they had a group and they won. So I was like, y'all get to go in the studio. They recorded their own joint.
Okay.
And then on top of that, I was like, y'all lesson for the day is y'all gonna find out what black and white means in the dictionary. So like all of that shit is their natural reactions and their natural.
Wasn't rehearsed or nothing like that.
Nothing is response. I just had them go in there, read it, and then I was asking questions in their headphones.
That's dope. That's dope. Let's get into it. Angel Dust featuring Lord Jamal off the Children of God album.
Yes.
Hasan Salaam, Lord Jamal on the track. Ashes to ashes, life is just like smoking rain.
That's what the life is like.
Ashes to ashes, life is just like smoking rain. Ashes to ashes, life is just like smoking rain. Ashes to ashes, life is just like smoking rain. The power user scorcher, once you put it on, you got you hooked on her. Allow me to warn you, she ain't no good for you, that's why they call her. Feed for the spoiler, pay bills supporter, that's why they call her. Can't refuse the offer, once you put it on, you got you hooked on her. Listen, desperation in a whisper from a trick to a stripper. He think he gon' get her. She loosening his zipper just to get the wallet quicker. No sex in the picture. She got the game of cat and mouse down to a science. Only fucks clients as long as they buying. Links up the street and the payments are private. Works sliding in the club to upper clientele. Well, I wear that sex sell and she be pimping it well. Her sweet tooth extends to nose candy as well. Says she hates cocaine but love the smell. From blunts laced with yay to E and Special K. Angel run through the alphabet like every day. All your fantasies a phone call away. She can be anything you want, deserves awards for the role play. Queen dominatrix always been her favorite. Feel like a talent's wasted on average relations, but offered everything from a college education to all expenses paid vacations in the Caymans. It ain't what she chasing, but what she escaping. Might choose to give it up, but what's the toll it's taking, huh?
Just like smoking
Ashes to ashes, life just like smoking for the angel dust. Ashes to ashes, life just like smoking. Now despite what you expect, she ain't in it for the sex. Attracted to that cash, only paper make her wet. Lost love, found her more concerned with a check. Total disrespect, made her think it's all she could get. Cause quiet as it's kept, she blessed with the vocals of a siren. Fallen angel wings clipped violent. The dream fell silent. The stars in the eyelids evaporated when her first forced his way inside it. Decided at an early age that the game works both ways. Might as well get paid instead of getting fucked over for it. Might as well leave with something to show for it. Besides being broken hearted, started off raw, huffing the finance a fetish. Repeatedly playing exes, living reckless. Envy the soul with her body exposed. She measured worth in dollar tips after swinging from poles. Cold shoulder for real brothers that'll love her, but she had to suck a dick for the rent without a rubber. Just another notch, nameless encounter. Might forget your wife for the night, but you can never forget about her. Angels to ashes, like smoking angel dust. Angel dust. Ashes to ashes, shorter than a brush for the angel dust. Ashes to ashes, like smoking every hood got one just like her. Throwing a life away, not recognizing she a queen. This just her story. Angel always planned to take it on the road to La La Land. Found a rich man, his hand on the Malibu sands. Took a chance and booked a couple locked doors in advance. Expanded past the avenue, Pussy's International. Set up a game on a website. Red light specials just to prove that her head's right. Never saved a penny for a rainy day, a value the cost of possibly losing her look, so the body falling off. The power used to scorch you. Once you put it on, you got your hooked on her. Allow me to warn you, she ain't no good for you. That's why they call her Angel. Fee for a spoiler, pay bills support her. That's why they call her. Can't refuse the offer. Once you put it on, you got you hooked on her. Ashes to ashes, like smoking angel dust.
Yeah, angel dust. Angel, you want to hear the rest of that? We did the whole thing, but if the part where you know where you mentioned
you good.
it's like they need to go watch the video. So they
watch the whole video.
Watch the whole video.
There's a message in the music. That's what it is.
So that was of Children of God, and so your most recent project, Life in Black and White, that's on Viper Records.
Yes.
You dropped a couple of videos for it. One of the videos, the song Jericho. It reached the top of the Reverb Nation charts, or how was that for you? You know, releasing all these independent projects and coming out with this joint and getting that due respect. That
I mean, for that song, it meant a lot because it's dealing with what's happening right now, right here, right now, and it's not being apologetic about it. You know what? Go this way. Get out of this track.
Yeah. Make this right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, for it to be that song made it even that much more meaningful to me. I mean, obviously any song is meaningful, but it made it that much more meaningful because there's names that's mentioned in there that motivate me. You know, I said I was talking about a young brother that was killed by the police when I was a kid, Philip Pennell. This very much influenced my life. He was killed in Teaneck, New Jersey. He was shot in the back by the police. They said that he had a starter pistol, but he was shot in the back. You know, and I actually, at the time, I went to school with, I was friends and grew up with his cousin. He was older than us. You know, make a left, not at this light, but at the next light. Okay. And also, like I told you earlier, Teaneck is very racially segregated. So we got bused from our neighborhood into another neighborhood to go to school. So I went to school, like I said, with Philip's cousin, but we also went to school with the police officer's partner's daughter. Oh shit. That had killed Philip. And I remember at the time I was like 10 years old. I remember the school saying that they needed to get her some kind of guidance counselor. Not even fucking protection. They needed to make sure that she was okay.
Like psychologically messed up.
But they didn't do that for my man who just lost his cousin.
That's crazy.
And that's when I was like, and I'm saying, like, you see things as a kid, you experience things as a kid, and I mean, I'm biracial, you know, I'm mixed. There's people in my father's family that did not want me to even exist in this fucking world, so I knew what racism is. But to see it in action in that way, you know, like how racism rears its ugly fucking face.
But they don't care about the traumatic experience of the brother.
They're still
his brother, right?
His cousin.
His cousin.
They still care more about the aggressor and the oppressor's family. You know, so that shit like really was like incredibly eye-opening. Exactly. And then Jelani Manigault, who I also mentioned, was like kind of like my big brother's best friend. And he was killed by the police in Princeton. And it's a super shady story. Okay. Where basically his car broke down. Some white lady like let him in the house. The next thing you know, they say that he was swinging a kitchen knife. And then the police, instead of disarming him or shooting him non-lethally, probably in the distance from the front of your car to the back of your car, shoot him in the stomach and let him bleed out on this person's lawn. So, like, you know, it's not police brutality. I've been fucked up by the police before. I've had police steal from me before. I've had police say all types of racist and fucked up shit to me before. So it's not I don't say fuck the police because that shit sound cool. And until they start fixing the police department and how you have the police, the prosecutor, and the judge all on the same payroll, all going out to eat the lunch together, I'll never believe that y'all giving nobody a fair trial, because you're not.
Do you feel that there has been more cases of police brutality, or just that because of the cameras, there's just been more?
Because of the cameras.
Because, you know, more light shed on it.
Because of the cameras and because you have 24-hour news programs. You know, if you think, even to when I was younger, like CNN was there, but it wasn't on the level it is now. And now you have CNN, MSNBC, Fox, You got all these different
24/7 cases.
Yeah, so they gotta keep whatever.
And now you got the social media spreading the.
So you got all these things, but nah, it's been there. I mean, that shit ain't going nowhere. It's not a new phenomenon. Like, people want to forget about, you know, what the 90s was like all of a sudden. There was a lot of police murders in the 90s, but because just in New York City and New Jersey, you know.
But this is Jericho of Life in Black and White. Featuring Immortal Technique and Hezekiah.
Hezekiah singing and produced it.
Fuck how you feel about me. Say what you will about me. But let's see how you feel when the walls come tumbling down. When the walls come tumbling down, yeah. When the walls come tumbling down, down.
We on West Side Avenue. I recorded this song right over there.
Oh shit.
How it go?
When the walls come tumbling
They say
down.
racism in America's over. What's that to the pigs when they pulling me over? No eye contact, just a gun out the holster. Plantation overseers, prisons filling their quota. They call us niggas, they call us thugs. Said we all good for nothing and we all sell drugs. They call for blood, they call in the squadron. But I am Oscar Grant, I am Trayvon Martin, Jelani Man of God and Philip Pennell. Invisible man faces at the bottom of the wells. We've been through hell, still seen eternal life in Henrietta Laxell. These Uncle Toms been corrupting the bears, and that's word to the wire under Al Sharpton's wig. Pigs still shoot us in the back door, regardless of them nigga tweets from Gwyneth Paltrow. How low do we go to fit in? Killing ourselves, even bleaching our skin. Racism been stayed right on track, and none of it changed just because the president's black. And fuck that.
Fuck how you feel about me. Say what you will about me. But let's see how you feel when the walls come tumbling down. When the walls come tumbling down, yeah. When the walls come tumbling down, down, down. When the walls come tumbling down, yeah. When the walls come tumbling down.
Yeah, so Jericho. The video is very powerful as well.
The video's dope. Tech killed his verse. Hezekiah created an incredible soundscape.
Yeah.
And his words too, like I'm very proud of that song. Very, very proud of that song.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to see that. Because, you know, when you follow an artist who you respect and you feel that they're not, you know, getting the shine that they should get, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you've toured the world, you've done amazing things, but still you get pissed off when you put on a radio and all you hear is the same shit. I am one of them dudes. I am one of them New York bitter cats who, like, you put on a radio and it's the same shit over and over. I'm not saying they shouldn't play that, but there should be a balance. Why shouldn't Hasan Salaam be on Hot 97? You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why not, you know?
I mean, I know the reason.
No, of course, we know the reason, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be. I mean,
man, I'm telling you, I sat in a meeting in Def Jam when after my first album, because I had won this music showcase.
Is that the Fuse TV or something?
Nah, that was another joint.
Okay.
That's actually how I wound up getting the nominated and then winning the 2 Underground Music Awards was from this same showcase with Maria Davis. Shout out to Maria Davis, she's awesome. And so basically, I'm in this Def Jam meeting, and they were saying like, "Yo, we like your voice, we like your flow," but your name, like Hasan Salaam, might not really resonate in Middle America. It's like, I'm fine with that. I make music for people who fuck with it, you know. But it's also not true because there's a whole lot of people in Middle America who can fuck with it.
Exactly.
You know, I've toured there before. You know, I've been showed a lot of love there. And then they were like, you know, you have Blaxploitation and Hezbollah, like kind of like not really feeling those records or whatever for political reasons, not because they weren't hot or whatever, you know.
Exactly.
But so I'm thinking this, and they were just talking about, like, you know, like Black Power and liberation and all this shit don't really sell type. That's what they telling me. And they're saying this all to me with a Cocaine Snowman poster on the wall. And now, personally, I like Jeezy.
Yeah.
I like Jeezy. But it's like, you're telling me that you can market a Cocaine Snowman, but you can't market freedom. Okay, got you. I don't want to be here anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the same reason I feel that there's certain issues on the radio as well. You know, because there's a lot of artists that are really dope that you don't get to hear on the radio.
Without a doubt.
You can bust this right here. You know, like there's some supremely gifted underground political artists. You know, on both coasts and Middle America. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking crazy. But it's like, you know, what is it? Carter G. Woodson said, you know, you're a fool if you go to your enemy for education. Same thing. You can't go to your enemy to get fed neither. Music is food for your soul. Music is education. So why would the system that we're trying to dismantle fuck with what we do?
Gotcha, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I expect my enemy to hate it. If my enemy loves my shit, then I'm doing something wrong out here. You know what I mean? Like,
but sometimes the enemy, if they can make a buck off of it, they'll try to exploit it. You know, I mean, like,
America will sell its own ass.
Like they were proven wrong to what they were proven wrong by Kendrick Lamar's album sales, by J. Cole's album sales, without getting that radio push as much, and without, you know, being on big record labels and making positive music, you know.
I mean, a cosign from Jay-Z or Dr. Dre helps, and it goes a very long fucking way.
Without a doubt. It just proven them wrong, and I think that.
But I mean, they've both grinded too, like.
Without a doubt.
And those are also very amazing albums. It's crazy. So this is Journal Square. It's
like a shopping area.
It's like a shopping area. You know, come get some kicks. You know, used to be, well, it's still there. It's like a music spot, music station. It's smaller. It used to be down here where this apartment building is now.
Like a cell.
And they used to sell. That's why I used to go get records and CDs and shit. And they used to have big, it's not a poster. It's like that plastic shit that labels used to get record stores that would be outside. And I always wanted to fucking be on that shit. And gentrification took that away from me. Fuck you, gentrification. Because they used to have that shit like right here.
Yeah, I know this
that
area
shit
right
used to
here.
be ill.
This is Jersey City too, right?
Yeah, this is Jersey City.
So this area is being gentrified heavily, right? Isn't this building right here?
This is a federal building.
Okay.
You know, federal buildings never have any style or flavor to them.
Yeah, they all look
It's
the
the
same,
vanilla ice cream of architecture. But like, all this here is getting done over.
Is it gonna be a mall or some shit, or like?
Well,
some
actually,
area?
Hudson County Community College is right here.
Okay.
They have a really good culinary arts program. Shout out to Hudson Community. But that's my spot right there. They give me the hookup on the Thames.
Yeah, because now I remember some people were protesting in front of Wells Fargo here.
We actually did the food and clothing drive right here before in the square a few times too. Because a lot of homeless used to be over here, but they kind of like
pushing them out.
Yeah, no, they trying to push people out. Because now
is this gonna be a transit hub or something?
I mean, it already is. I mean, like that's the thing with gentrification. Usually, you'll see it's gonna be on a train line if it's in New York City or here in Jersey. Exactly. That's why Grove Street and Exchange Place was first, because that's where the PATH train comes through, and now they're up here at Journal Square.
Yeah, no, because we was protesting in front of the Wells Fargo. I want to mention
Jackie Robinson statue.
For Susie Johnson, she's a elderly woman who lives in Jersey. Yeah. The banks took away her home. She was paying the mortgage. They came up with some bullshit. Was sold from mortgage to mortgage to mortgage. Her daughter Afua does a lot of work, and she called us out to the protest in front of Wells Fargo. She was explaining to me the area and everything, kind of what you're telling me about the gentrification. She does some of the feeding for the homeless in the area too. Food, hot food in the winter. Her and some other lady, Migna. So it was just interesting that I'm back in this area. That's one of the buildings right there.
See new shit.
Yeah, exactly. All this new construction.
And like I said before, this is a fixed place. There's nowhere to expand Jersey City. So when they say it's growing fast, that's somebody's home that used to be there.
Someone's gonna be affected.
Yeah, someone's gonna be affected by that.
Yeah.
I got a lot of I got some new joints in the works right now. A bunch of I have a lot of music that I never released. That I'm like, fuck, why not just release it just cause, so I gotta get some stuff mixed down and taken care of to release that, and then a whole lot of new shit. Like I got some new shit that's I got a joint or two that I really need to get off my chest, you feel me? Maybe we'll play it in the car and I'll, if they don't mind me reading it off my phone.
That'll be dope. I love an exclusive, man. I'm not gonna say no to an exclusive.
All right, so we could do that.
So let's change the topic a little bit. We're talking about your upbringing in Jersey, your political activism, you're working internationally, going to Palestine, Guinea-Bissau, Senegal, Morocco, and everything. But now, I know you're also involved in the adult entertainment business.
Yeah.
what has been the people's response? Because you got a lot of fans who may want to box you in as he's a conscious artist. How can he do songs about sex or fetishes or role play or stuff like that? How has the response been with this new venture?
It's really interesting because for one, it's not a new venture.
Okay.
Okay. If anybody can get out there and find my original first mixtape, Fifth Column Mixtape Volume 2, which was the first, you're probably never gonna find Volume 1. That's like literally something that I made like 20 copies of to sell and shit. But I let it be known from jump because I started in porn when I was 18 years old.
Okay.
I didn't put out my first album until I was like 23, 24.
So you were into that even before?
I was into it before because like I said, my mother put me out of the house when I was 17. So when I was 18, I was like trying to figure out where money's gonna come from. I got my GED, but I did, I went to school for a while. I was trying to do college, but then I had a family member get real sick and I was taking care of bills. So I had a friend, she was dancing in Philly, reached out to me and was like, yo, I know a way we can make some money. And that's how I got into it. And I think for a certain amount of time, I wouldn't even say embarrassed by it. I just didn't know how to bring both, because people, when they consider you a quote unquote conscious rapper, which I don't consider myself, I'm a musician, I'm an MC.
Without a doubt.
Like, you could put me on any track, I'm gonna go in, but I'm gonna speak my truth. I'm not gonna make records about killing my brothers and sisters. That's not what I'm about as a human being. You know what I'm saying? So I don't sell crack, I don't sell heroin, I don't do that. So if I rapped about that, I'd be a sucker. There's a whole lot of rappers out now that are fucking suckers to me because they're trying to make a living off of a lifestyle that they don't even understand. Fuck it. Well, I'm not spending time talking about that.
Yeah.
But so like for me, like I said, my father battled addiction. So I, besides weed or whatever, I could never graduate to selling nothing more than that. Like I saw what it did to my family.
Okay.
So, but I needed a hustle. And that's what my hustle became. So,
Sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, sex and entertainment,
Okay.
So, but when people label you as conscious, they almost want to make you asexual.
True that, yes.
So it's like, if Lauryn Hill or Common or whatever, if it's not a love song, if they're just talking about fucking, all of a sudden everyone's like, what the hell is wrong with them?
Yeah, I didn't know you
but
was
there's
like
not,
that.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, yo, everybody out here, even with somebody you love, there's times when it's not all precious and shit. There's times you blowing a back out this motherfucker, like you fucking, right? So it's just like, I think that people sometimes put expectations on other human beings that they don't even have for themselves. And I think that it comes to that with sex because the American puritanical culture,
so
on top of Catholic and Protestant Christianity, automatically makes people in America feel some weird type of way about sex. And then on top of that, we're black. So not only are we oppressed, our sex gets repressed. You know what I'm saying? Because white America feels they own black bodies. So not only do they own black bodies to hang us from trees and shoot us in the back, but they also own us in their minds, or in America's minds, like how we have sex with one another, how we make love to one another, how we are passionate or anything with one another. Express our yeah, exactly. And it's like I watch everything. I pay so close attention to everything. If you notice in film, if they want you to believe that a white character is cool, they're acknowledged by black people. Even if they don't have the black friend in the movie, they'll have a point in the movie where black people be like, yeah, one of those shits. And then in people's minds, like, oh, he's cool. He gets along with black people, right? Then what another thing they have as a heavy stereotype in film is the black gay friend. And it's kind of like, if you're homosexual and you're black, you have to be this way. Let's not talk about James Baldwin.
True.
Who was the most fearless of anybody ever.
Yes,
I don't give a fuck what your sexuality is. James Baldwin was a G.
No doubt.
You know? So, but if you're black and you're gay, you have to be this way. Okay, and if you're
feminization,
and if you're black and you're straight, you have to kind of come across as if you hate women.
Over masculinity.
Over masculinity, right?
Yeah.
And that's what is comfortable. You know, we actually do presentations on the representations and misrepresentations of black sexuality in adult entertainment. My business partner and partner, Just Sending Jasmine. So, you know, like, we're about to, after I leave here, we're going to be at the Sex Down South conference.
Cool.
And we're actually going to be performing at Hedonism in Jamaica too.
Nice.
So it's like, and we're going to be also speaking on these stereotypes, because, like, for example, I mean, you as a brother from Lebanon, right? Now there's this huge fetish of porn with women in hijab, which is disrespectful to people who might not be okay with porn at all.
Got you, yeah.
You know, just like there's a fetish for people with none, I don't know how to say it, like nun garments.
Yeah.
So like there's a nun fetish and a priest fetish. And you know, some people might not be attempting to be disrespectful.
Okay.
It's you know, fetishes are usually, a lot of fetishes come from taboo places. So,
and it's a cell.
I mean, it's a cell, it's definitely a cell, but I mean, like, you know, if you grew up in Catholic school, you might have had a little feeling for a nun. And that's something that people can sell to you.
Okay.
You know, so it's kind of like, on both sides, there's not a conversation, really.
Well, like you said, it's a taboo, so it's not what you're supposed to, you know.
It's not like you people are saying, like, hey, go out there and just holler at the next nun you see.
Exactly.
You know, but I mean, I think in this country, though, there is this history of the exploitation, obviously, of black bodies. So in porn, a lot of times that shit is fucking not underlying, it's overtly racist. You know, and the same goes for Latinos. And when I say black folk, I mean Latinos as well.
Okay.
They just got dropped off at a different place. You know, like, it's funny, like, my dude had posted, he's Puerto Rican, my boy CF, and he posted this joint on Instagram because people kept talking about his Spanish or whatever. He had a picture of a Taino warrior. And he said, this Puerto Rican didn't fucking speak Spanish either. And that shit is true. Like, to me, it's like, you Taino, you African, and the Spaniard basically attacked you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the mix is. So people who are fighting wild hard to speak Spanish, that's like if I was out here like, hey, it's racist that y'all don't speak Dutch. It doesn't fucking make sense. In the end, if we're not fighting to speak our native languages, so it's just another slave master's language anyway. I could give a fuck which one it is.
Exactly.
You know, I get off point. It happens. Nah, but like, so, you know, like with reactions from fans and stuff, some people have been, they don't know. They're just like, oh my God, what the hell's happening? But to me, that's like, you haven't been listening to me the whole time. Because I told you Angel Dust was about me and someone I used to work with. You know, or in my first joint, I told you, like I said, on the first joint, I made some pornos for dough, pics floating on the internet. I said that shit on my first mixtape. I don't hide who I am, or where I'm from, or what I do. Like, to me, honesty is the best policy in all things in life. So it's like, this is who I am. You accept it or you don't. I did, though, have certain issues with my experience in adult entertainment, because when I first got into it, I was a kid. I was 18 years old. So it's kind of like I was doing this shit for money. Now,
so there was exploitation, you mean?
There's some exploitation with all forms of business. But it was just like I was a kid. So like now I'm an adult. I own 2 adult entertainment companies, Just Send Jasmine and Royal Fetish Films. So I can put out content that I want. I'm a grown-ass man making my decisions. But as a kid, you know, some of those decisions were influenced by like, yo, I gotta eat tonight. Yo, I gotta make enough money to, like, I was staying, like, we keep driving, I'll take you all over Jersey. I used to stay out on Route 46 in a hotel called the Horizon. Like, I lived there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I gotta make this money, or I don't have a place to sleep tonight, or I gotta sleep in the park, or I gotta jump on the path, or take the bus to New York to sleep on the A train.
See, that's
you know what I'm saying, like.
But that's one of the issues why maybe some people, let's say in the movement and the leftist people in general, I believe it is due to repression and Puritanism, but sometimes it's because of the fear that there's exploitation involved, or that people aren't necessarily doing it because they choose to. Not in cases they are, of course, but in some cases they're not. They're doing it to make to survive.
But see, there's also a lot of people who do it, who love it because that's what they want, and that's how they want to express themselves. So you can't, if you're gonna try and regulate something, you have to regulate it based on everybody. So you have to make safety nets, you have to make safeguards, and you have to be able to make outreach to people who are being exploited, because unfortunately there is a huge sex trafficking industry throughout the United States. It's not all through porn, obviously, but there are certain instances where it is through porn, and that shit gotta stop. That can't be something that's allowed anywhere. You know, so, and that is a problem, and that's something I personally have nothing to fucking do with. You know, so it's, but it's like, you know, at the same time, I also know a lot of people who were at one point in their lives sexually repressed or went through some horrible things, and now they're in porn and they're like, I'm loving it because I finally get to express myself in a way I never was able to. So if you're attacking those people as well, now you're not freeing someone, you're fucking with them the same way. The truth is, you
can't generalize.
Yeah,
but that's a problem. People generalize. So you know, if there's a case of exploitation, then the whole industry gets gets that brush with the same stroke or whatever it is. So that's all I want to basically address.
But I mean, but I just wanted to say, on the other hand, there are a lot of people who really love what we do, who have reached out to me, who will be like, ask relationship questions.
I think it's dope, especially when you do like the classes and showing, you know, classes where you're showing how to basically spice up your sex life and shit.
Yeah,
you know
and I mean, I think it's also important because, you know, we have, I think someone just told me earlier today, actually Jasmine just told me earlier today, that now Zika is going to be classified as a sexually transmitted disease. So how do you protect yourself against Zika? You know, if Congress isn't willing to pass fucking bills and things to take care of humans or citizens, you know what I'm saying? Like, who's going to do that? And I feel that to a certain extent, if you're in adult entertainment and you're a quote-unquote porn star or whatever, you're a fucking sexual athlete. The things that they ask us to do and that we're expected to be able to do sexually is some athletic shit. So as an athlete, you should be able to convey to other people the best ways to take care of their body, the best ways to take care of their mind and soul, because those things are involved in sex too. You should be able to tell people how to protect themselves against STDs and other infections that are transmitted sexually. And you should actually be able to use all of this information that it can be passed down from family members to the youth to be able to protect them as well. And I think that that's in a perfect world, or at least in a better world, that's one of the things that industry would be able to help provide, is ways for people to not only spice up their sex lives, but ways for people to understand their bodies to help protect themselves, because porn didn't start STDs, just like rap didn't start violence. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, but these shits is out there and people need to address it. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. No, that's dope, man. You going to Jamaica, you said soon?
Yeah, literally right after I leave Jersey, we, Jasmine and I are going to be working with Organic Lovin' to provide some entertainment. Like, I'm actually going to be probably performing Mile High Club and a new song I got down there as well. We actually also developed a fitness program called Steel and Stilettos. So Jasmine's going to be teaching that, and I'm going to be doing like calisthenic workouts for people out there.
So you down to start the freestyle session?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. Let's put on some beats right now. Lebanese Ether, Freestyle Drive, Episode 8, Hasan Salaam.
Yeah. Hasan Salaam, do it like this. Check, 1, 2.
I like my L on the hellfire, put it in the air. Can't tell me to go, cause we already here. Pigs on the prowl and the devil is the man. Future is the pen or electrical chair, yeah. So smoke him if you got him. Salaam is a problem to the system when he rhyming. My math is equated to the conjecture of Hodges, meaning even Stephen Hawking at his best ain't gonna solve him. Still waters run deep. Find me Jersey driving, riding low in the seat with a bad body mommy, most spitting less teeth, like she graduated from a class that little Kim teach. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, yeah. Sometimes I'm Iggy with the ignorance. Get busy with 2 Nicki Minaj mistresses. Both Lizzie Licky, they kitty and call it licorice, and love it how I put it down, grizzly carnivorous. Infamous Frank Nitty, except the boom bap is my bang bang chitty. I grew up listening to Wu-Tang witty, so that auto-tune drizzy sound Poo-Tang pissy. Business being risky, live under the influence. Fuck putting on for your city if you're not out here making a difference like P. Diddy. Without Biggie, I ain't as interested. And that's just being honest. Top 5 dead or alive is being modest. Hooked on a whole lot more shit than phonics. Fly chicks rhyme shit in hydroponics. In case you ain't know, Hasan Salaam is the name, aka King the Wall. We out here right now in Union City. Got my man Lebanese Ether, he gonna throw on the next beat. That's just warming up for y'all.
We're gonna play this for the Cypher Circuit, Murder the Beat session. Smith & Wesson, Bucktown, Hasan Salaam, Freestyle Drive, episode 8.
So how it go? Now. See, I ain't from Bucktown, but I still make you duck down. Run up in the spot like what the fuck you want now. This Hasan Salaam off the top of the mind. That means that this rhyme just came here without design. It all came right through my brain, but I still blow your mind like wind chimes. Fuck you up like one time. So who is we? We is Hasan Salaam and the Lebanese Ether. 2 people you don't want beef with. So understand, yo, I run through the streets with the kind of shit that make nobody wanna compete with. Bruce Lee's on my feet, make the cipher complete. Understand who I be in these streets. It be the H to the A to the S-A-N. Matter of fact, cup runneth over, don't know when to say when. We out here in Union City, I represent Jersey. Understand rhymes is grimy and gritty. So what a pity if you ever try to ever fuck with me. I make these motherfuckers see milky like 2 titties. They can't see who we is and who we be. Representing right now in the car in 3D. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras. I slam MCs like Godzilla and Gamera. Who the fuck is we? No, nobody wanna challenge us. I make them blow up like the Star Shuttle Challenger. Y'all just amateurs, and we the pros. Understand, never call a woman no hoe, and even in my bed. So understand that my mind has been shaped since the days when I was a kid and where I live. And that be the jers, my nouns and my verbs. And I get paid to do shit bees and the birds. Understand, yo, I emerge and take it to higher levels. Y'all cast first stones, I drop boulders, y'all pebbles. Can't understand, I'm like AI to answer with the crossover. Y'all cats just really want a crossover. So fuck who you are, fuck who you is, fuck your guns and all of your biz. Can see what we did. That was just some freestyle, I'm just chilling. Understand right now they point me as the villain, but kinda like Sawface say goodbye to the bad guy. And I'ma stay fly and do this till I fucking die.
Bucktown! Gun clappers! Original gun clappers!
Shout out to Steel, what up?
Hasan Salaam, Freestyle Drive, episode 8, Lebanese Ether, we in Jersey. We're gonna do the So Gone challenge.
So gone. I smoke, so gone. Try to rhyme with me in the battle, so long, so strong. Hasan Salaam, drop on the microphone like Megaton Bomb. Laid back off of the tron. Y'all cats, more like Dakota Charms. Fuck with me, it's gonna be a hairy situation like Ashanti's arms. Matter of fact, yo, that was fucked up. Why am I even talking this wild mess? Cause I'm here just chilling, having a good time, fucking around with the rhyme. So, I don't wanna hear nothing you saying. I ain't standing for that bullshit like Kaepernick. Understand, yo, this guy don't need half a clip, just one shot. And I ain't talking about the warning. When I start to fucking perform, and I can rock from the morning to the night. Matter of fact, yo, I do this is my life. I'm nice with the left and the right. The left jab, right hook, put you to sleep real quick like Zab. Understand, yo, this man is kinda nice with the pen and the pad. But now I'm grown, so I guess I'm typing my phone. Trying to put these rhymes down, take it to another time zone. Mind still moving, stay spinning like the cyclone. Matter of fact, yo, I've never been a chump, never been a punk. Both middle fingers up saying fuck Trump.
Fuck Hillary too. Matter of fact, understand, you see what both of them is trying to do. They trying to make American empire go out into the rest of the world. Fuck it up for all the brown and black boys and girls. Understand, when I start to spit, it's kind of like an oyster, cause there's only a few pearls. But I make sure that I drop them jewels for the crews. Understand, yo, I've done that life. I done carried all them tools. So I'm trying to pass down these things to you and yours. Understand, rhymes with the ill rhymes. Yeah, and the metaphors. Oh, I don't see it.
And just switched it up. Switch it up.
Alright, so we do it like this.
Tell me.
Just like, give me words and shit.
Give me words?
Or topics. Or whatever, because I'm in a good mood right now.
Alright. It's a special for y'all. Freestyle Drive, Hasan Salaam, hosted by Lebanese Ether. We about to do something different right now. We wait till it comes back.
Yeah. I like chicks that's bisexual. One for each testicle. I'm a deep intellectual. Doesn't mean that I don't be sexing. Watch how these rhymes I be flexing. When you fuck around with me, you probably gonna need some kind of protection. So where we at right now? We out here on Kennedy Boulevard, out here in Jersey. And times it's hard. Understand, I always rep my squad. That be the rebel arms, that be the fifth column. Fuck around with me, I'll probably rip out your spinal column. Just like it was Mortal Kombat. Y'all ain't ready for this combat or the contact. Fuck around with me, you getting high right off of contact. Probably smell it in my clothes. Understand, we out here, we just repping for these crews, and we always gonna be pros. So don't let it fool you. We out here, but shout to Palestine, because last year I was there, trying to see what's going on, trying to see what was wrong. They building both sides of the wall, so both sides I guess they doing wrong. But one side is oppression, the other side is learning a lesson. So wanna come here, you gotta understand who trying to test it. So you got this IDF dude that's holding a pistol, pointing it right at a kid, and the kid got a rock to hit you. He throwing it right back, you understand, that slingshot hip hop. We gonna make sure that everybody understand we taking it right to the tip top. See, if you impressed over there, it's the same as me being pressed over here. See, they got the IDF, we got the police shooting us at the rear, trying to put a bullet in our back, trying to change up our lives, trying to keep us as slaves, trying to make sure they have first nights with wives. See, I'm going a little deeper than the average cattle or a beat like this. Right now, I got more fingers up to the police like this. So that's what it is. We out here with the Lebanese Ether. Watch how I keep speaking right through your speaker. It's like I'm hearing 3D right there on your YouTube screen. Still spitting it so fresh and so clean. He said, woo, I'm representing for my crew. Back when they said sue or the woo, no matter where you at, you my people, individual. I'm making sure them lines hit critical if they ever try to step to this lyrical. Too many syllables and gentrification. They trying to take the places that we made famous, and now they gonna walk around in Harlem and Malcolm X Boulevard and say that they was the ones who made it what it is. So when you think about it, it's gonna be like some Norman Lear, and 500 years from now they're gonna have a white man playing Malcolm X in the movie there. So what the fuck is that shit? Gentrification of the mind, changing up the time. They probably changing up the rhyme. That's why every motherfucker they think is nice right now is white when they rhyme. They don't want to hear about the struggle, but they say the struggle is real. They don't know that the struggle is, and they don't know how we feel. So understand that where we at in this world, it's like a crossroads. Not like Bone Thugs, but it's kind of like No Thugs. It's ready for the real war when it starts to come to you at your door. So what the fuck you gonna do? Side with us or side with the law? So I'm saying Black Lives Matter. Say they love that trap shit, but they hate that black shit. So they hate that Black Lives Matter now. Fuck what we gonna do? I'm gonna tell you right now, you gotta be ready to throw down with the style or throw down with the 4 pound. My favorite gun's the 1911 because it works real right. And my favorite number's the 7. That's like the shine in the Christ. So understand, with this mic device, I'm gonna take it to another place and make sure that these motherfuckers respect me when they standing in my face. I don't care if you say nigga with an ER or a fucking A, cause these pigs wanna put us in the ER and they do that shit here every day. Yeah. So understand, I'm gonna make sure that I always speak the truth, whether I'm rhyming in this fucking car or I'm recording it in the booth. Understand that.
Hasan Salaam, yeah, kill
off
that
the
fucking
top.
panda
Get
shit.
But you gotta give me a couple more words. Right. It really don't matter if it's a noun or a verb. Adjective. Yo, we stay like magic kids. Yo, and they always trying to start shit. Islamophobia, like Aladdin, magic carpet. They think they be flying on magic carpets. Meanwhile, they carpet bombing, trying to start shit off. So you could see me trying to set shit off, trying to show you that there's all kind of different Muslims in the world. And they don't all hate girls. Understand, yo, I make sure that the Dutch twirl. So what they thinking? That we all hiding bombs when we get on the plane? I probably flying more planes than you understand planes' names. Or the plane that the rain that falls in plain Spain. Understand, yo, my rhymes ain't plain. And this brother right now, yo, understand I ain't playing no games. This brother spit shit that pertains to the people in the struggle. Matter of fact, if you was here right now, I'd hug you. And I love you for all of my peoples out in Guinea-Bissau that understand my style. See, when I was out there, we was building with the grown folks and the childs. Understand, yo, and it's something that makes me proud that I helped to build a school, fresh water well, and a medical facility. But out here, I come back home and the motherfucking police and government wanna be killing me, or the people that look like me, but they ain't got the guts to fight me. So what they do, they try to drop bombs. They try to shoot you in the back. They try to lock arms so you can't breathe. Every day, shit, I feel like I can't breathe. I feel like these devils got tricks up their sleeve. Because we got what they need. They want that black oil, that melanin. If you don't understand, check what I'm telling them. Look it up. They want our serotonin. They want our melatonin. They want us all. Kinda like you seen in the Matrix, trying to suck the battery power out of our bodies. So they try to own black bodies. So we gotta move quick like Maseratis. Understand, I ain't on some crime shit like Gotti. I don't look up to Gotti, I'm God body. Understand, yo, you probably want me locked behind bars. But see, my mind is on Mars.
NYPD.
And my shorty from Venus. NYPD, they can all eat a penis. I don't give a fuck. I bet the boys in blue always try to bring trouble too. They the ones who should be locked up. For Amadou Diallo, for Sean Bell, for Eric Garner, the list goes on. Unfortunately, another day, another hashtag, a new song. All of them need to get the Bible, Jesus, and the Quran. They all need God, they all need laws. Cause they ain't abiding by their own, they ain't abiding by yours. So what they do? They the ones that probably break more laws than you. So how you gonna trust the police and they policing you, but they breaking more laws? They breaking more jaws. They kicking down doors for gentrification, trying to take this place. Man, they just a waste of space. So fuck all the bullshit. Fuck the yapping bullshit preaching in pulpits. Yeah, I'm all over the place right now.
It's perfect, my brain is blown. I love this. It's the first time we're doing this on Freestyle Drive. I'm throwing words out. So
you gotta throw more words than that. You gave me like
I don't want to interrupt you. I don't want to interrupt you though. Yeah, let's do it.
So where we at?
Jersey.
Yo, my life is a green light. I keep going, but I smoke that red line. Goddamn, I keep blowing. Y'all keep showing improvement when I be moving this music and understand that I'm repping off from my unit. See, I got a couple companies, I got a couple pigs that's out here hunting me, but fuck it, just show me where the blunts will be. So, I guess I'm a master fetish trainer, and I can show you different ways to get it in. Matter of fact, yo, I'm setting in, I'm taking it to another level with the porn and the triple X. Just sending your bets, it ain't no threat, cause trust, I'ma teach your lady to do things she never did before, and I ain't even gotta break the law.
Zika.
Chill. They wanna try and freak ya, but you gotta watch out for sexually transmitted Zika. I'm here with Ether, and we just dropping jewels. Understand, yo, my mama, she ain't raised no fool. Guaranteed, yo. I've been doing this since day one, shining like the sun, walking across the 6 sextillion ton. That be the Mother Earth. Since my birth, I've been kicking. Tribe Called Quest taught me. Now I got my ticket to take it to the next. This be brother giving the threat. Understand, yo, that's how I feel her. And I got my joint right here for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Black eating gold. Every say since the dawn of time. And I've been told, guaranteed when I was born through third fold with the principle. I'ma keep spitting till this day flows invincible. I'm brand with the Nubians, Sadat and Jamal. That's who I used to listen to before I had a car. Used to throw on the headphones and the tape deck. Now my life is different. I rhyme, plus I teach y'all about safe sex. Matter of fact, I bust through latex when I be spitting. Understand this is a tradition. I've been doing this in the kitchen, cooking up that hot shit for all of y'all to rock with. And then I start to break bones and jaws like a mosh pit. Yeah, so how we going? We just flipping it. And turned off the beat. Nah, I think the shit was skipping. With the ill shit I be kicking. Like I told you, magician. Sawing chicks in half with my wrath in the bloodbath. The aftermath of this is probably gonna do some knowledge, understanding over education. So what the fuck? Lyrical lacerations. Y'all out here just masturbating. Can't fuck with this shit. I'm taking this. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm done.
Perfect. Thank you so much, brother. Yeah. Hasan Salaam, Freestyle Drive, episode 8. Even though number 7 is his number, he got episode 8.
8 is good. Build and destroy. We built on some shit and then destroy the beat.
Beautiful,
but I got one more joint for you.
Exclusive for y'all.
We gonna ride up that way though.
All right, cool.
Let me see if I get this. Like this, some like brand new written.
It's supposed to be off the new.
This is gonna be
album.
On some new shit.
All
so
right.
yeah.
Dope.
Produced by my man Hefe Music up in Boston.
Cool.
Hefe Music.
Check. Big difference with ballin' and wealth. Grams on the gram and you snitch on yourself. We under surveillance, you giving them help. All of them selfies, no knowledge of self. Ain't good for your health, bro, no. Prison is the new Jim Crow. Fast and growing menace in this bitch, and ain't that some shit, but that's just the way it goes. So, they love that trap shit, but hate that black shit. Black Lives Matter, they ain't trying to hear that shit. Entertained by the murder, ain't Bell out murder. Just tell me what the fuck was that shit. Somebody out to enterprise, cause the hood hard to recognize. Vilified and hipsterized. Occupied and gentrified. Went from hooded Klansmen burning crosses in the south to the hood up north, landing burning the south. Saying amen to deliver us out, but praying alone won't be getting us out. Fucking think out here ain't shit for free, shit for free. So if you hating, keep hating, motherfucker, cause it really don't mean I got a thing to me. See, the ones who got the most to say got the least to do, least to do. How 5-0 break the law and they policing you. Wanna hate me for what I do and how I live, but I'm the alpha, the omega, arm, leg arm, head, motherfucker, who is you? True. But yeah, nah, fuck that shit up. Go straight though.
Exclusive. Thank you. You got a name for that joint?
Nah, it'll probably be fuck the police in some shape, form, or fashion.
On Freestyle Drive, man.
I ain't even got a name for that shit yet.
I'm so happy you performed that here, man. So before we wrap up, where can people find you online, social media,
you can find me, Hasan Salaam, Hasan Salaam, on all forms of government spyware, social media. Fuck them. And then for the adult entertainment stuff, it's King Noir, KINGNOIRE.
Okay.
And that's on all forms of social media. That shit is no way, shape, form, or fashion suitable for your workplace. Don't be hitting me up later on like, so yeah, I got fired from my job because I went to your website and you and Jasmine, or, just
not safe for work.
Not suitable. No. Keep the kids away from it too. But jetsettingjasmine.com, royalfetishxxx.com, and there's 3 X's in there, so you already know. You should know better. But yeah, all that. And then also, if you happen to be in the Tampa Bay, Florida area, we have a gym called Body Altitudes in Palm Harbor. Come work out. Cool. Get a meal plan, all that good shit. You know what I mean?
Get right, get healthy, get sexy.
Exactly. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, no doubt.
Mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, and soul. Thank you, brother Hasan. Great building with you today on the show. Got to talk about your history, the freestyle and your new projects and everything. Yeah. Even though I know it's not fully new, but to a lot of us it is new.
I mean, you know what? We have this mentality nowadays that if it's not 2 weeks old, then all of a sudden it's not relevant anymore. But it's like, yo, I could pick up a Public Enemy record right now, and that shit is more relevant than fucking 75% of the shit you hear on your radio. So it's not about when it came out, it's what the message is to me. You know what I'm saying? That's what matters.
No doubt. Peace, y'all.
Peace.